Rats, y'all ready? Light it up. Light it up. It's that time. Let's roll.
Got the crew on the dial and we setting out east. Rat daddy at the wheel on a trail for the beast. Toy got receipts and a pocket full of names, and we busting out truce like we blowing out flames.
Eastbound and down, chat rats rolling heavy. Truth on our tailgate, justice riding steady. Mic in our hand and the signs all red. Ain't no lies slipping past what the chat rat said.
Playlist, angels taking charge, law leans on the mic and her notes hit hard. Mary B's lifted but she's sharper than attack. Dean's dropping questions while he's rolling in his Cadillac.
Breaker, rap mama here, got eyeballs on that shady scene. Y'all ready? Light it up, rats. 10-4-20. Northbound and bold, truth in the backseat. Chat rats got that heat, can't be beat. From the chat rats lounge to the courthouse gate. We ride for the truth and we show up to see that fate.
Check it out. There we are. Cool. All right, what's going on, people? Sorry. I had unplugged all my shit. So, what's happening? Who's here? Nobody. Everybody in JFK? What's up, Angel? Tombstones, Clerk. Sorry, I gotta get all my shit set back up. I don't know if it's setting up or not. I hope not. All right, sorry, guys. Good. Now one of my cables is acting up. I don't even know if you can hear me. Hopefully you can hear me. Anyways, give me a minute to figure this stuff out, and we will watch some of this. just to be bored for a second. So,
All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Good morning. I hope you had a good evening. I appreciate you being here on time this morning, and I trust that you were all able to abide by the court's instructions and not have any access to any media accounts regarding this trial. And again, emphasize that that is so important to maintain the integrity of this trial, and we all appreciate your understanding and your cooperation. I do want to give you just a basic understanding of the procedure that we will follow during the course of this trial. The trial will begin this morning with the opening statements made by the attorneys. Now, I caution you that the opening statements are not evidence. They are simply an introduction to the evidence. They will give you an outline or a preview of what they expect the evidence to be in this case. And because the state has the burden of proof, the state has the right to go first. Now, again, as I mentioned yesterday, the defendant enters upon the trial of this case with a presumption that he is innocent. And that presumption stays with the defendant until such time as the state presents sufficient evidence to convince you jurors of the defendant's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. That is the state's burden of proof. After the opening statements are concluded, we will begin the presentation of evidence. You'll hear testimony from live witnesses. You'll see photographs, exhibits, documents, all of which will be introduced during the course of this trial. At the conclusion of the trial, the attorneys will give their closing arguments. And again, the closing arguments, like the opening statements, cannot be considered by you as evidence. It is very important that you pay close attention throughout the entire trial, and I will try to give you as many breaks as necessary to keep you comfortable, to keep you refreshed. In the event that you feel that you need a break and there hasn't been one, just raise your hand or try to alert the bailiffs, and we'll make all the necessary provisions to keep you comfortable. So we thank you again for your service. We thank you for abiding by those instructions. So we'll begin the trial at this time with the opening statements. Ms. Bayo, you may proceed for the state.
Your Honor, I'm going to defer, and I'm going to go second.
All right, thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I introduced myself yesterday, but just so, again, y'all know who I am. My name is Doug Weinstein, and I am representing Mr. Kassotis in this case. It is my honor to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, my client, Nick Kassotis, is not just an accomplished attorney and decorated JAG officer who served his country in Iraq and in the Pentagon. He is also a man who lived in fear. Relentless, all-consuming.
yeah, Ginger, we had it the other night. I think it was Wednesday. And it's a boy. Everybody was happy. It's a boy. So now it's 2 granddaughters and 1 grandson on the way.
Fear. His wife, Mindy, also lived in fear. Mr. Kassotis is accused of the unthinkable, the absolutely unthinkable, murdering his wife. But the truth, what really happened, is far more complex. Mr. and Mrs. Kassotis were told that they were targets. You will hear testimony that a man calling himself Jim McIntyre, who knows if that is his real name, claiming to be with the FBI, told them that their lives were in danger, that they had to disappear, follow orders without question, and trust no one, not their family, not their friends, not their loved ones. Every move they made, every lie that they both told, every strange decision, and there were quite a few that you will hear about in testimony, were driven by that fear. Mr. Kassotis lied to his friends. He lied to his family. He lied to Mindy's loved ones. He lied for years. Not because he wanted to deceive them, but because he believed that their lives depended on it. You're not going to hear testimony that Mr. Kassotis killed Mindy. You will hear testimony that he tried to protect her, but he was manipulated, controlled, terrified. And that fear, real and overwhelming, shaped everything that he did for years. Who's Nicholas Kassotis? Mr. Kassotis grew up in New Hampshire, in rural New Hampshire, in an area where there were quite a bit of hunting down a road. He graduated college from Boston University. He has 2 law degrees. He has a JD degree, which is the basic law degree, like I have, a JD degree from Northeastern University up in Boston, and he has an LLM from Georgetown. In Georgetown, he specialized in national security law and in cybersecurity. You will hear that Mr. Kassotis is a decorated military veteran, as I've already alluded to. He served in the JAG Corps for a decade. He served in Iraq. He was in the Pentagon. When he separated from service, he left as a lieutenant commander. He achieved numerous commendations within the Navy. He got the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal, the Joint Service Commendation Medal. And during Nick's time in the Navy, in the JAG Corps, he would sit at this very table that the prosecutors are at now, because he, during his time, at least in Italy, he was a prosecutor. You will hear testimony, I expect. I don't know everyone that the state is going to put forward, but you're going to hear a testimony, I imagine, from Mr. Kassotis' first wife, Heather. They were divorced in 2015 when Mr. Kassotis learned that Heather was being unfaithful. He marries his second wife, Mindy Kassotis, the woman that was tragically murdered, and that you're here to hear evidence upon, in the fall of 2016. Shortly thereafter, Mr. Kassotis separates from the Navy. He serves for a brief time as a civilian in the Navy, but then he leaves that. And why does he leave that? He leaves because, frankly, a lot of very strange and unusual things began to happen, and you will hear testimony on that. And he eventually contacts authorities, and a man calling himself Jim McIntyre appears. Now, Jim McIntyre claims to be with the FBI, and Jim McIntyre tells Mr. Kassotis, tells Mindy, that they're in danger. They're in danger, their life is in danger, and they have to go essentially on the run. You'll also hear that following Mr. Kassotis' divorce from his first wife, Heather, she gets a $1.5 million judgment as part of the divorce against Mr. Kassotis. In the course of providing that award, Mr. Kassotis was under the belief that he was the recipient of a sizable sum of money. But you will hear he never gets that money. That money was illusory. That money was allegedly being held by Jim McIntyre for Mr. Kassotis. So he believed he was getting that money. He never got that money. I imagine that the state is going to tell you that Mr. Kassotis and Mrs. Kassotis, Mindy, moving around the country is because of this $1.5 million judgment. But the reality is, it was because of fear. So there's a lot going on with Jim McIntyre. There are a host of lies that are told by my client over the next few years while they are on the run. As I said, you're going to hear about the lies that they told to their friends. You're going to hear about the lies that they told to their family, and specifically that Mr. Kassotis told. But this isn't a case about that. I would like.
All right. I think I got all this stuff set back up. Sorry. Been a minute. So I got strode out. So it looks like it's just us. You might as well come hang out up here, or just sit here awkwardly in silence. How about that? Dean's not in his box. Dean is in Raptor's room. Dean's on Raptor's show right now. So that's where I don't know if he's in Chicago or not. I hadn't talked to anybody really this week, so I don't know what everybody's been doing. And I figured nobody would hang out, but I wanted to get all this stuff set back up so we can watch some of this stuff tomorrow. And I don't have to set it up again. Just got to turn it on. So, tell me what you want to do. We can watch this if you want to. I've been waiting to watch it, so might as well watch it. Better than typing all that shit in Discord. Shit. Kick the camera. Yeah, we can do some backstory real quick. Hold on a second. Let me find out. See what we can find. See what we can find. Dun, dun, dun. All right, here we go. Here we go. Not a lot of different places covering it. Let's see. Here we go.
2022, deer hunters in Riceboro, Georgia, find the torso of a nude, headless woman deep in
What's up, Yellow? We're just goofing.
the woods of a local hunting club. Investigators found the rest of her remains scattered within a 3 to 4 mile radius across 3 counties. The Georgia Bureau of Investigations released composite sketches of the unidentified woman in hopes of giving her a name. 5 months later, on May 11, 2023, police announced that they found the remains of Mindy Kassotis. They used DNA from family members to make the positive identification. Mindy Kassotis was 40 years old when she was killed. The day after her remains were identified, her husband, Nicholas, was arrested in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
So this case, as the court knows, is incredibly gruesome in a way that I believe will create additional trauma.
Nicholas Kassotis, who is also known by the alias Nicholas Killian James Stark was extradited back to Georgia and charged with malice murder, aggravated assault, and removal of human body parts from the scene of death. Prosecutors say in the months before Mindy's death, she and Nicholas were on the run because of an outstanding $1.5 million judgment owed to his first wife, Heather Thomas.
Its motive for him being on the run. It explains the story started all because of this.
Local station WTOC was in the courtroom when his attorney argued that the money was not the motive, but that a mystery man named Jim McIntyre was involved with the case.
Jim McIntyre, whether clearly that wasn't his real name, absolutely exists. They were moving every few days, few weeks, few months at the control of this person that we'll just keep calling Jim McIntyre.
Nicholas Kassotis has pleaded not guilty. If he is convicted, he could be sentenced to up to life in prison.
All right, and let's see. Vinny Politan did a little segment on it. Well, his normal time segment. But we can scan through that and watch that too for our backstory segment. This is kind of crazy.
We have
Vinny's loud in his headphones.
the latest. But first, a desperate manhunt in Tennessee continues. 28-year-old Austin Drummond remains at large and is wanted for the brutal killings of 4 people.
And this was 3 days ago, so. Skippy. What the crap? Come on.
If he is convicted, he could be sentenced to up to life in prison.
What a case. What a story. And yeah, the defendant has a story. So again, just to reiterate what's going on here, and this is an important part of it. So he has 3 wives, right? Mindy is wife number 2. Now, prior to Mindy's death, Nicholas's ex-wife won a $1.5 million divorce judgment against him. And prosecutors are saying that wife 2 and Nicholas went on the run so they didn't have to pay the 1.5 to wife number 1. But the defense is saying that Mindy and Nicholas were fleeing from some guy named Jim McIntyre, who they say controlled their finances. Prosecutors saying Jim McIntyre doesn't exist in the real world. But the defense says both Nicholas and Mindy told people about running from McIntyre before Mindy's death. Let's bring back in our think tank. Al Wunsch, Darnell Crossling, Jennifer Brandt. This is a mess. This is a mess.
Yeah, it's been popping up in my feed a lot, MJ. So they're in like day 4 and Trial Channel's got it all broken down. So we can watch a bunch of it really quick. Maybe catch up before the end of it. Give us something to do. It's okay, Tombstones. Sleep well. Sleep well. MJ, take that link and come sit up here.
What are your thoughts here, Al, about the mysterious Jim McIntyre?
Well, that's a great little thing to throw out there. You want to have somebody you can blame it. They're going to put that name out there. They're going to put everything through that this is the guy they should be looking for, and they grab the wrong man. So, I mean, it's sort of like that New Jersey case where it was the woman in the floppy hat that was in the house and, ended up involved with the murder of the guy's wife and things down the line. It throws doubt out there, and it's a nice little tool.
Darnell, I think McIntyre will be the one that the defense points at as being the bad guy in all of this, right? They're on the run to get away from this guy. My guess is the murder of Mindy will be blamed on this man, Jim McIntyre. But isn't it incumbent upon the defense, if you're going to allege that there is some guy like this, that you would have some evidence that this man exists and you'd be able to present that inside of a courtroom?
Spoken like a true prosecutor, Vinny. I think you're not rusty at all. Litigation is what I do every day, and when you have a situation like you just described, it's called third-party culpability. And if you're going to make a third-party culpability claim, judges slap us around all the time, saying just what you just said. Give me more than that. You can't just walk in here saying, "Oh, it was another person who did it." Somebody stole my homework, and you don't know who it is. As Al said, it could be valuable, but it has to get through certain levels of legal thresholds. So, in order
would it be enough? Would it be enough, Darnell, if the victim was talking about this guy also?
No, not at all. I mean, if the victim was talking about this guy, they'd have to say, what's the context? Is this guy a murderer? This guy, just a mere mention of this person. So each court, as the court is the gatekeeper, is going to have to look at it and say, is it sufficient? But I don't think just merely mentioning some guy named McIntyre, the alleged McIntyre, is enough.
All right, Jennifer Brand, explain to us a $1.5 million divorce judgment. How does that happen?
Well, it sounds like he had quite a bit of money to get that kind of divorce judgment, because that was probably half or more, maybe a little bit more than half of the marital estate. So we're talking about a fair amount of money that he had to be able to pay that kind of judgment, which clearly he couldn't pay. That's why he was allegedly on the run.
Well,
what happens? Didn't want to pay it because he had to fight.
What happens to you if you have a $1.5 million judgment and you don't pay it? Like, what is the court going to do to you? They don't put you in debtor's prison, do they?
The court has enforcement. Oh, well, they do. I mean, there's enforcement powers and.
What's up, Misty? Misty's here. Prince Lover, what's up? MJ. Sometime today, MJ. I'm waiting on you. Boom, boom. Yellow's here too. Thank y'all for hanging out. This is last minute spur of the moment thing, so we just hang.
Contempt proceedings, and punishment can be sanctions, can be jail. So yeah.
Like, I get it for child support. I get it for child support, but
no. I'm talking about a judgment against you. They can enter it as a judgment against him. Take his assets, levy upon his assets. I mean, we don't know what he had, but he probably had some worth to get that kind of judgment. Somebody just didn't pull that out of the air. This is not a civil judgment against him in terms of like harm that he did to somebody. This is probably based on some kind of asset division. So, he was out to take care of his new wife and beyond.
If it's judgment, how do you run? You can't run from the judgment. I mean, you can't put the house on your back. I mean, the house or whatever the assets are stay where they are.
Maybe he had money. He had money that he was trying to get away and not pay that money. But I don't know how far he was going to get, just like Darnell pointed out. I mean, there's only so far you can get. The courts can catch up with you. And going from state to state doesn't really matter because, if you have a judgment against you, it can be enforceable in multiple states.
Al, let's talk about motive here. Let's talk about motive, because I got something else. This is for the motive for the murder of wife number 2. Apparently, prosecutors have evidence of a receipt that he was going on a date with, I guess.
How do these guys make it through 2 or 3 dead wives, and it takes the third one really to tip the bucket where they'll actually go and start investigating? That don't make no sense.
Future wife number 3, and bought a condom and some Old Spice.
Oh, condom and some Old Spice. Ooh, somebody's going to Pound Town.
He should be prosecuted just for that. But under the circumstances, first of all, the case I was referring to before was Dr. Jeffrey McDonald, which is interesting because McDonald was also ex-military, like this guy and was a doctor. In this case, this guy is a lawyer, former JAG attorney. So we're dealing with someone that is skilled, is intelligent, and has a good educational background, plus also military training. They're definitely looking at something with regards to the new wife number 3, because this woman disappears and he just went right back into the swing of things and hooked up with bride number 3. I don't think the $1.5 million is something that would have been a motive to take out wife number 2. I think the bigger motive is moving on to wife number 3 and not getting another $1.5 million verdict against you in the second divorce.
That actually is an argument might very well resonate with the jury. Like, he got taken to the cleaners in the first one, and he didn't want to do it again. Wow. All right. Al Wunsch, Darnell Cross, and Jennifer Brandt staying with us. When we come back, Diddy, one of his accusers slash.
That was it for the segment on Nicholas Kassotis. And there's not a whole lot of little backstory things. That was about it right there. So, yeah, that's about it. Just go back to opening statements. Start it over because I was not listening. Because I didn't have all my shit plugged up. Yes, it's on this trial, Mary B. It's been popping up in my stuff, and it's got a good catchy title, like Dismembered Wife Murder Trial. So, and it's broken down by trial channel, so we don't have to do all that. We could just watch it and watch it. And hopefully some more people will come hang out with us once they realize that there's nothing else to do. Mary B, you gonna come up here and hang out with me? You gonna leave me up here by myself all night? Here we go.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I introduced myself yesterday, but just so, again, y'all know who I am. My name is Doug Weinstein, and I am representing Mr. Kassotis in this case. It is my honor to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, my client, Nick Kassotis, is not just an accomplished attorney and decorated JAG officer who served his country in Iraq and in the Pentagon. He is also a man who lived in fear. Relentless, all-consuming fear. His wife, Mindy, also lived in fear. Mr. Kassotis is accused of the unthinkable, the absolutely unthinkable, murdering his wife. But the truth, what really happened, is far more complex. Mr. and Mrs. Kassotis were told that they were targets. You'll hear testimony that a man calling himself Jim McIntyre, who knows if that is his real name, claiming to be with the FBI, told them that their lives were in danger, that they had to disappear, follow orders without question, and trust no one. Not their family, not their friends, not their loved ones. Every move they made, every lie that they both told, every strange decision, and there were quite a few that you will hear about in testimony.
Hey, little miss. What's up, little miss? And that's all we can play of that still. But we can at least play that much of it.
We're driven by that fear. Mr. Kassotis lied to his friends. He lied to his family. He lied to Mindy's loved ones. He lied for years. Not because he wanted to deceive them, but because he believed that their lives depended on it. You're not going to hear testimony that Mr. Kassotis killed Mindy. You will hear testimony that he tried to protect her, but he was manipulated, controlled, terrified. And that fear, real and overwhelming, shaped everything that he did for years. Who's Nicholas Kassotis? Mr. Kassotis grew up in New Hampshire, in rural New Hampshire, in an area where there were quite a bit of hunting down a road. He graduated college from Boston University. He has 2 law degrees. He has a JD degree, which is the basic law degree, like I have, a JD degree from Northeastern University up in Boston, and he has an LLM from Georgetown. In Georgetown, he specialized in national security law and in cybersecurity. You will hear that Mr. Kassotis is a decorated military veteran, as I've already alluded to. He served in the JAG Corps for a decade. He served in Iraq. He was in the Pentagon. When he separated from service, he left as a lieutenant commander. He achieved numerous commendations within the Navy. He got the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal, the Joint Service Commendation Medal. And during Nick's time in the Navy, in the JAG Corps, he would sit at this very table that the prosecutors are at now, because he, during his time, at least in Italy, he was a prosecutor. You will hear testimony, I expect. I don't know everyone that the state is going to put forward, but you're going to hear testimony, I imagine, from Mr. Kassotis' first wife, Heather. They were.
What's up, MJ?
What up?
What up? So you've been watching some of this too? I mean, well, not watching it, but seeing it.
Yeah, I listened to it at work today. I think it's like day 3 of the trial, maybe.
Day 4.
Okay, whatever. See, you already know more than I know.
Yeah. But there's not a lot of other trials popping up in my stuff.
Yeah, and this one is like
It's got a good
confusing.
catch, too. It's got a good catch. But they have 22 different videos already broken down in the trial channel. So it's like each witness, it's like 10 or 15 minutes per witness.
Oh, nice.
Forensic guy that's got about 3 hours testimony. So I don't know.
Okay.
I like watching the trials, and we haven't had one to watch. And that's your fault because you're not breaking the law.
Well, I'm sorry.
Uh,
I don't know if you want to solve Dakota's demise, but that might happen soon.
Dakota's gonna be a star.
Divorced in 2015 when Mr. Kassotis learned that Heather was being unfaithful. He marries his second wife, Mindy Kassotis, the woman that was tragically murdered, and that you're here to hear evidence upon, in the fall of 2016. Shortly thereafter, Mr. Kassotis separates from the Navy. He serves for a brief time as a civilian in the Navy, but then he leaves that. And why does he leave that? He leaves because, frankly, a lot of very strange and unusual things begin to happen, and you will hear testimony on that. And he eventually contacts authorities, and a man calling himself Jim McIntyre appears. Now, Jim McIntyre claims to be with the FBI, and Jim McIntyre tells Mr. Kassotis, tells Mindy, that they're in danger. They're in danger, their life is in danger, and they have to go essentially on the run. You'll also hear that following Mr. Kassotis' divorce from his first wife, Heather, she gets a $1.5 million judgment as part of the divorce against Mr. Kassotis. In the course of providing that award, Mr. Kassotis was under the belief that he was the recipient of a sizable sum of money. But you will hear he never gets that money. That money was illusory. That money was allegedly being held by Jim McIntyre or Mr. Kassotis. So he believed he was getting that money. He never got that money. I imagine that the state is going to tell you that Mr. Kassotis and Mrs. Kassotis, Mindy, moving around the country is because of this $1.5 million judgment. But the reality is, it was because of fear. So there's a lot going on with Jim McIntyre. There are a host of lies that are told by my client over the next few years while they are on the run. As I said, you're going to hear about the lies that they told to their friends. You're going to hear about the lies that they told to their family, and specifically what Mr. Kassotis told. But this isn't a case about that. I would like you to focus on the tragic murder of Mindy Kassotis. you're going to see.
Well, that's kind of what we are focusing on. And the guy that killed her dying. You know what I mean? MJ.
I sure do.
I
I
like
need
when
to.
they do that every time. They're like, "Oh, it's so yeah, but your client's the one that did it."
Right.
Um,
Wait till you see his interview when he got arrested. Actually insane.
they show it during trial, or we need to find it somewhere else,
I think they were showing it during the trial today.
like his interrogation.
It wasn't really an interrogation. It was just, it was weird.
Hmm.
And they like cut him off at one point. Like he didn't know why he was there. And they were like, yeah, all right, well, we're running out of time. We're gonna cut this off in a couple minutes. Oh my God, shit.
Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. No,
This
it looks like
dude's a weirdo.
it's gonna have to be in the trial.
I can try to find the timestamp in Grizzlies.
Yeah, you could do that, but you don't have to if you don't want to. Though.
Oh, I want to.
Horrific, awful images of Mindy Kassotis' body. Unfortunately, I imagine that they are going to stay with you long after this trial is over. You're going to see her torso. You're going to see her legs. You're going to see her head. And it will be difficult for you to see that. I'm sorry that any of us have to see that. You're going to see a Milwaukee knife that was found near the scene of her body. What aren't you going to hear? You're not going to hear evidence that that knife was used on Mindy Kassotis. You're not going to hear evidence from the state's own toolmark expert that that knife was used on Mindy Kassotis. You're going to hear about a tub that was found near her body that was likely used to transport Mindy Kassotis. You're not going to hear evidence of Mr. Kassotis' DNA on that tub. You're not going to hear evidence of Mr. Kassotis' blood on that tub. Just like in the knife, you're not going to hear evidence tying Mr. Kassotis to that specific knife. Now, you will hear evidence that Mr. Kassotis purchased the same brand and style of knife at Home Depot. But you will not see evidence again that ties Mr. Kassotis to that specific knife found at the scene. You're also going to hear evidence of a knife set that Mr. Kassotis purchased at Bass Pro Shops around the time of Mindy's death. But again, the state's own toolmark expert is not going to be able to tell you that those knives were used on Ms. Kassotis.
Okay. They did it again.
What?
He went and bought knives right before you kill somebody.
Yeah, how
Come on.
dumb.
Plastic bags, lime.
You don't
Shelf.
have an old kitchen knife laying around that could do the job? Come on.
Can you not just go somewhere and pay cash? And they can say, look at this $45 withdrawal at the ATM. Now let's just go up in here, use my debit card.
Yeah,
You know,
completely traceable at Home
probably,
Depot where you know
probably
you're on
Googled,
camera.
he definitely Googled how to dismember the body.
Yeah.
Definitely Google where to get the best murder knives. Like,
Well,
do I go to Dick's? Do I go to, Bass Pro Shop? So
Bass Pro Shop would have been a good one.
that's where he went. That's what he just said.
Oh, I
You're,
thought it was
you're
Home
going to
Depot.
see that he bought some knives at Bass Pro Shop shortly before the unaliving. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Did you have them sharpened there too? Like, can you
Right.
go ahead and put an edge on this for me? I need to use it now.
Yeah, it's important. I
There's
have
a
to
lot.
go home and use it.
I'm in a hurry. I don't have time to go home and figure out how to sharpen this damn knife. Just do it for me.
The state will not be able to show you. The state will not even be able to tell you how Mindy died. They do not know how Mrs. Kassotis died.
Winks is
She
here.
was murdered.
Hey,
What's
Winks.
up?
Awesome. Awesome.
Where the hell is Sassy at?
I don't know. Like I said, I've been gone all week. I got heat sick last week. And what that means is when you come home and you get in the air conditioner, it's like you're gonna lay down and you can't move.
Yeah, that shit shocks the hell out of your body.
And then it just gets worse. It doesn't matter if you drink Gatorade, goat's blood, and whatever else all day.
Pedialyte, I told you, damn it.
No, because once you get to the point of
Just get
cramping,
up and drink it.
you got to get bananas, man. Bananas. Eat lots of bananas.
Gross.
Pack out the potassium. Shit, you see people in the NFL that have cramps and they come to the sideline and they ride a little bike.
Yeah.
You know what else they're doing? They're eating a banana. Highest paid
There's
doctors in the world give people bananas for cramps, like immediate medicine.
Have you ever like had to take a shot of potassium like at the hospital?
You did?
Oh, I said, have you ever?
I don't take a shot of nothing. If you
Dude,
come at me
it's
with a needle, it's not good. We're not
no,
going.
it's like a little shot that you drink.
Oh, that kind
Oh
of
my
shot.
God, it's so gross.
Does it work?
Oh yeah, it's like a miracle.
Yeah. Well, a banana will do that too. Probably not as gross as that shot you're talking about.
I don't like bananas either.
Look at that freeze frame game. Do I do this on purpose? Got
A
that
true
money.
talent.
But how is unknown. You're not going to hear evidence telling you
It's honest.
where Mindy was killed. They don't know where Mrs. Kassotis was killed, and you won't hear evidence about that. At the time of Mindy Kassotis' murder, Mr. and Mrs. Kassotis were living in Savannah. You'll hear evidence about the state's searching of the Airbnb that they were renting in Savannah. You will hear evidence of her blood being found on the futon at that residence, along with another individual's blood. You all hear evidence about whose blood that second individual's is. The state's case is going to be very circumstantial, which is why they will tell you it takes 2 weeks to put it on. You're going to hear evidence that my client's vehicle was at the scene, because they tracked the GPS in the vehicle. And when I say the scene where her body was found. But you're not going to hear any eyewitnesses placing my client at the scene. You're just not going to see any of that. So while you're going to hear witness after witness after witness testify about the lies that my client told when he was on the run from the individual or individuals that were trying to harm him and his wife. You'll hear lots of that. You're not going to hear a lot of evidence tying my client to this murder. So what I ask you to do is focus on what's really at issue here. As you watch this evidence, focus on what evidence does the state have that ties Mr. Kassotis to the death of Mrs. Kassotis. They're going to want a distraction. They're going to want to get into all these other lies. They're going to want to get into his third wife. He marries another woman shortly after Mindy's death, a woman that he had been inappropriately flirting with for the last months of Mindy's life. And after Mindy's tragic death, he goes to Pennsylvania and he marries her. But none of those are issues that are the primary issue. So I would just like you to listen to all of the state's evidence, hear what their witnesses say, look at their exhibits, and see if, once you review all of that, the state is going to meet their burden. Thank you very much. And I appreciate your attention this morning.
Thank you. Ms. Bailey.
December 2nd, 2022.
Uh-oh. She doesn't look like a happy prosecutor, does she? She about to get on somebody. Look at that look on her face. It's like, this motherfucker just told y'all he didn't buy those knives at the Bass Pro Shop 30 minutes before the unaliving. And some lime and shovels and rope and plastic bags and sheet plastic. It's not a big deal.
Plastic totes.
I mean, he's just building a brand new outdoor garden in his backyard. tonight, after hours. You know what I mean? Some people do that. My little
It
doobie.
was. Oh, I don't want to give it away. Never mind.
Don't you dare.
Oh,
We are already missing Dean.
Dean's
What?
gay. He's eating Taco Bell.
He's what?
He's eating Taco Bell
How you know that?
because I think I made him feel bad, so he called me because I haven't talked to him in like 2 weeks. A loser.
Yeah, I know. Same here.
Just gets a job and, leaves us behind.
Yeah, all this time he's been ragging me. Oh, come on, pussy. You can stream. And then I've been doing the same work. And Dean finally gets the job. Now it's like, but I mean, he's not asleep. He's on Raptors panel right now. So, I mean,
Oh, that's where he is.
yeah, which, he always done that since I've known him.
Damn, if you didn't go live, we all could have trolled him on there.
Well, you can still go. You don't have to stay here.
I had my laptop. I could multitask, but I don't want to go get it.
Well, then don't threaten us with a good time.
It was the week right after Thanksgiving.
Ooh, PowerPoint.
Thanksgiving that year was on Thursday, the 23rd of November. That weekend for South Georgians is a big hunting weekend. It's deer season. You're going to hear that weekend, Portal Hunting Club, which is located in Riceboro, Georgia, Liberty County, right near McIntosh Farm. Down off I-95, Jones Road, that turns into Barrington Ferry. But it's right over there. And you're going to hear that there were hunters out. Family weekend, they were all out for deer season. You're going to also hear that Portal Hunting Club is a dog club. That means is that when they hunt, they use dogs to do hunt. And the dogs run out into the woods and the deer run, and then the hunters shoot. And you're going to hear that one of those hunters shot a deer. And the dogs that he was using went to retrieve the buck. The dogs just weren't acting right. When he said come back, the dogs weren't acting right. So he went to look.
Angela, I don't think so. I think it's jacked all the way up. Yeah. I was going to say his court TV is usually low, but they probably got this from court TV.
What's going on?
Ooh, hippie chick. What's up? Nothing's going on in here. Nothing's happening. Everybody run. That's how you do it, MJ. That's how you get away. See how fast that hit me? Just let everybody run.
Yeah.
Those people get away.
Don't panic, just run.
No, don't panic. Just run. Because you know who gets eaten by the bear?
Not me.
The last guy.
He did not expect what he found. He found a headless, legless torso, nude, completely nude, with two arms, one almost severed, her two legs severed, her head severed, just off the roadway. And as you can imagine, you will hear him testify. They were shot. Horrible. And I submit to you that the evidence that you will hear is that they returned to the clubhouse to try to get police, to call somebody to come out. And you're going to hear testimony that that's when the onslaught of law enforcement kicks into high gear. They respond, and they get there by about 5 o'clock, 4:50 p.m. And you're going to hear what the hunting club area is like. Portal Hunting Club and the area surrounding it, the adjacent territories, it's over 30,000 acres of logging territory. And they hunt on that territory with permission. That looked like a great place to drop a body. If you're not from South Georgia. Because that's a busy weekend. Logging, hunters, dogs. You don't know they're there. I submit to you, you're going to hear that that wasn't a great place to leave a body. Because they found it quick. Wasn't far off the road. And they found it quick. You're going to hear and see some of the information that law enforcement collected, where the torso was recovered. And you'll see those roadways. They're not asphalt. They're not like regular roadways of the highway, but they're still roadways. And the logging trucks use those. And there are cars that come through, and local citizens will cut through there when the season is going on because the locks are off the gates. You're going to hear that people were coming and going. Lots of people. And over the next couple of days, you're going to hear what they found. But that very first day, on December 2nd of 2022, the crime scene investigator shows up and they start documenting the crime scene. And I'm going to submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, counsel's right. I agree about one thing. There are tons of horrible pictures. And I submit to you that we will do our very best to limit what we show you. The state has a burden to prove our case beyond a reasonable doubt. And dismemberment, unfortunately, is what we were dealt. And we have to prove that. So we will present photographs to prove that. But the torso wasn't all that was found on that first day, December 2nd of 2022. Crime scene is going to talk about what they recovered there. And that investigator recovered not just the torso, but the
She just scared me like she was going to show it.
Oh,
And I was like, hold on, let me pause that for a second.
I wonder if they will.
I don't think they can.
Why wouldn't they be able to?
This is gross.
Oh yeah, but so are the stomach lining of John O'Keefe, but they show that.
Yeah, those are some strong words. So make sure we put the disclaimer. Disclaimer. Pretty cool.
Disclaimer. Oh, where the hell is Janine?
Asleep.
You know what? I'm
Yeah,
sick of her. Sleep is so important. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, a bunch of the chat rats are asleep, but that's all right. We're gonna go live tomorrow too.
We better.
Probably twice Sunday.
Fine.
Do an early morning stream at 5:30 in the morning. Then we're gonna do a late night stream at 11:45 at night.
Yeah, I'll see about that.
Sounds pretty good to me.
I'll have to colonial nap throughout the day.
Then we'll do a 12-hour stream in between those.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Members, well, not members only because we don't have members, but I'll just do private. I'll just do a private 12-hour live stream by myself that nobody is ever going to see.
And then post it for us to watch.
No, absolutely not. I'm just going to delete it.
tubs that were used to transport it. And I submit to you, you're going to hear testimony about the blood that was found inside of those tubs, that they tested it on the scene, that they knew it was first blood and then it was human blood next, because they can test for that. And they're going to tell you also about the knife. Counsel talked to you a lot about what wasn't shown. But I submit to you, you all assured us, and I'm going to ask you to use your common sense as much as possible. You're going to hear about that knife. A Milwaukee, orange-handled, black-sheathed knife. And that knife, ladies and gentlemen, had a cleansing wipe wrapped around it. Call it what you will. Clorox wipes, things you use to clean up. Those wipes were everywhere. There were lots of them that were recovered. Because the killer...
Anybody ever notice that Clerk is fluent in emoji?
Yeah.
I have to write that shit down and then look at it and see what he's talking about. But every time I do, it makes sense. Though it's like, damn, that kid's fluent in emoji.
Like, solve this word puzzle.
He's like a road. What is that? Roduku or something? He's like a emoji man. He speaks emoji. Teach us the ways.
He needs to teach a class on emoji.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That way, if you ever have to go to court, you're like, dude, it's just a rat. I don't know what you're talking about.
I submit to you that killer was a prosecutor. I submit to you that the evidence is going to show that he would have known to clean up. And I submit to
Lisa Eyeball snuck in. Did y'all check her ID?
Lisa!
Make sure she got her ID on her.
Make sure she legit.
Mm-hmm. We don't need nobody up in here with no fake ID now. Oh man, I used to turn in like stacks of 100 fake IDs to the ABC every time I would see them. Just give them a big fat stack of them. It's hilarious.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's not even close. You look down, it's like a redhead, pretty girl. You look up, and you're like, nope, not you. Sorry. Not unless you morphed your facial features. But I'm gonna keep this.
But there's more
They
evidence.
used to steal my
That
cousins.
knife
Oh, we all did.
was purchased, I submit, the evidence will show, by Nicholas James Kassotis. If you look at that picture, the state will introduce it, you can see that knife tucked under his arm. That's him, on surveillance, from Home Depot. And I submit to you that in case you were unsure that that was him, that's the receipt. Showing, if you look closely, that's his name, Nicholas James Kassotis. So I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, there's no question that the evidence will show that Nicholas James Kassotis purchased that knife. And if you look at that, he bought it at 8.
Oh my God.
He even used his rewards account.
Use all of his. They're like, you sure you want to use all of your rewards, Nick? And he's like, yeah, use them up. I got a feeling it'll be a while before I come back. Hurry up and sharpen that fucking knife. I could get out of here.
56 a.m. on the morning that you will ultimately hear was the day her body was dumped. The same day, hours after. And you will hear evidence of exactly how we know that. You'll see the tubs. They will be here in this courtroom. You will hear about the DNA analyst testing the substances inside of those tubs and that it was Mindy's blood in those tubs. They didn't know who she was then. They just knew there was an unidentified torso. Those tubs also get bought at Home Depot. And you're going to hear how detectives from the Liberty County Sheriff's Office and the Georgia Bureau of Investigation ran down every lead they could. And in the beginning of this case, you're going to hear that there wasn't a lot to work with. You're going to hear they found a torso with no head and no legs. And that was all they had. That, the knife, and the tubs. So you're going to hear how they started with the knife and the tubs. And then it gets worse. Because while hunters are still out hunting, we find more pieces. Over a 3-mile radius.
Good Lord. You think the animals did that? Strung it out in a 3-mile radius? That's a lot.
I mean, maybe.
Like if you're on foot and you just dropped off the torso and you
Yeah,
got
I'm sure my leg was in the woods.
You're just trucking through the woods, you wouldn't typically walk 3 miles. That's a long way.
He's in Home Depot with his ex-wife. He's like, hey,
Turn
how
around.
many of these? How many of these do you think I'd need for your body?
Nick, what are you doing with that knife?
Like, what the fuck is this?
Just bought it 8 minutes ago. Have you seen my wife?
Dumped with no regard, I submit to you, will be the evidence. Tossed into the woods. The heavier piece, right by the edge of the road. But her legs, they're brought farther out in the woods. Second tub is recovered. I submit to you that was used to carry her leg. You're also going to hear how her head was ultimately recovered. First leg found by a hunter, second hunter of the first crew. I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to hear about all of the victims in this case, because although Mindy suffered the most tragic loss, no question, every person this case touches suffered. You're going to hear there's a second hunter that finds the first leg. And then you're going to hear that they do a canine search. They deployed the dogs, cadaver dogs, to try and find the rest of her. That their job was to try and find this whole person to lay her to rest. You're going to hear that a canine recovered with his handler, of course, the second leg. And I'm not going to show it right now, but you're going to hear how they collected maggots.
Oh, cool. Where's she go now?
Whatever, sweet woman, just rub it in.
Yeah, she's always like, hey guys, no big deal. I just went and hung out with Dave Matthews tonight. No big deal.
Just, watching one of the best country singers ever.
Didn't invite you.
Nope.
She's 10 minutes away from you. Didn't
Yeah,
invite DJ.
Right down the street.
Could have met me downtown somewhere.
And she'll be like, oh, you should have been there. It was great.
Nope. Ghosted.
Fly orbit from that leg to determine when these pieces were dumped. We're going to hear from the doctor. I call him the bug doctor. He's an entomologist.
Yeah, we're going to do a documentary series about Sweet Woman's Summer of 25 concert series.
It's going to be a long series.
16 parts, 4 hours per episode. And that's just to read them out loud. Then we start the content.
Fancy. He's going to tell you when those bugs could have been exposed to her body and how that helped law enforcement to narrow down when she got there. That's the second hub. That was found next to the leg. And you're going to see where each of these pieces was recovered. I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to hear that they were recovered exactly where Nicholas Kassotis' vehicle was trucked. You're also going to hear him admit that he was there. And I submit to you, you're going to hear him admit it once he realizes law enforcement can track his car.
We just talked about her abundance of concerts and how ridiculous it had gotten, because I think there's some concerts going to Sweet Woman now.
Yeah, I think they just go to her.
Yes, then she's like, oh, I have 3 left.
I wonder what 3. Am I invited, Sweet Woman?
She's been to so many concerts. I think she went to one in 1985 last week.
If Sweet Woman has better seats than me at the Morgan Wallen concert, I'm actually gonna throw a fit.
Well, I'm sure she got them points we were just talking about, like old dude used at the Bass Pro Shop.
The head, unfortunately, wasn't found until 5 days later. Buried. That's the shovel. And I submit to you, you're going to see the pictures that show that a shovel was used because you're going to see that there are roots that are disturbed, where a shovel hit roots and a new spot was picked, and her head was buried. You're going to hear about how by some miracle that head was found. By some disturbed dirt by the roadway. And then you're going to hear and see Mr. Kassotis buying a shovel, November 4th of 2022. From Home Depot.
MJ, your concert selection sucks.
Wow, how convenient, Sweet Woman. Can you?
said, don't worry, I'm not even going to that one. You can have my seat.
Yeah, she's like, not going.
Yeah, not going. Catch it on MTV replay.
Right.
There is no MTV anymore. What am I talking about?
Oh, that's so sad.
I know, that's an old joke. Can't use it anymore.
Well, what else you can?
Do what Sweet Woman does. They don't. Well, I guess they're starting to, but people weren't going to concerts like they used to. You could just get the music for free, and people are lazy.
Yeah.
People are lazy.
Just buy his house in Savannah. Counsel had you believe it's circumstantial. You're not going to see anything, but I submit to you, your common sense is going to easily dictate what the evidence shows. An autopsy conducted. 2 days, because we didn't know if the head was going to be recovered. That's what you're going to hear the officers testify to. And Dr. Lehman, our medical examiner, is going to explain it. He started the autopsy on the torso and the 2 legs. He took what's called blood stain cards so that he could send the DNA to the laboratory to determine, is this the same person? We made sure we had the same person first. And on the 9th, he continued the autopsy because the head was recovered. And he's going to tell you there were 9 traumatic wounds to her skull. She was beaten on the head. You will see those two go away. One of them resulted in a smoke fracture. I submit to you, you're also going to see her abdominal wounds. And you're going to hear why. The state is going to present to you a reason why there were wounds to her abdomen as well. And unfortunately, you're going to hear about the dismemberment. You're going to hear from the doctor, he can't rule out certain things. And I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to hear the reason he can't is because of the defendant. I submit to you, he can't rule out, for example, asphyxia, choking, because her neck is missing. Parts of her body have been so damaged that he can't do anything about that. That's what you're going to hear. He won't guess. You will not hear any guessing from the state. You will hear facts. And I submit to you, those facts will be compelling. Who is she? That was the next step, right? Who is she? How do we figure out that it's Mindy? Now I've called her Mindy, but the detectives and law enforcement, they didn't know yet. They're going to talk to you about what they did at the time. They tried to test her fingerprints at the scene. They had her hands. They weren't on record. You're going to hear that they went ahead and they checked after the autopsy. She had actually on the right side a dental implant, but the crown, they couldn't track that, but they tried. You're going to hear that they did her DNA. They're going to hear that it wasn't in the system. And they went to genetic genealogy. God bless our country. Technology gets better and better. And they were able to get leads to figure out who she might be related to try and figure out who this woman was. And you're going to hear that the lead that they got dealing with the FBI was for who might be her mother. Betsy Mebane. And Betsy Mebane, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to hear they did her buccal swabs. It's like a Q-tip, those cotton swabs that they put inside your mouth, and they collected mom's DNA. And it turned out that was her mother. 99.9999% statistically. That is Mindy. You're going to hear about the forensic sketches that came out, that they tried to find information, and the hundreds of leads that law enforcement ran down. You're going to hear about all of the work that everyone put in to try and figure out who is.
That was a really good sketch, wasn't it?
I was just gonna say forensic drawings creep me the hell out.
Yeah, look at that. That shit's
Like
good.
how
Did you say hey to Cherry, MJ?
no, not yet. I was trying to highlight her comment, but my phone's annoying.
You need to fucking hurry up and do it then. We're
Oh
waiting.
my god. Hold on. Should I just say it here? Hey, Cherry.
Yeah, you got a microphone. But look at that. That's crazy. Good. That's
That is
really
wild.
maybe the eye spacing isn't so good right here.
Yeah.
Or they could, I don't know. She does kind of have that. Look at the other way.
Mm.
It's not like bad or anything.
You're going to hear about the forensic sketches that came out, that they tried to find information, and the hundreds of leads that law enforcement ran down. You're going to hear about all of the work that everyone put in to try and figure out who is this woman. All while they were trying to run down the knife and the tubs, because that's all they had at the scene at the time. Remember I told you, the doctor, the entomologist, he will estimate the dates of exposure between a window. And he gives a window, and he'll explain to you why there's a window of the 27th through the 29th. And the mean, or the median right in the middle, is the 28th. But it could be a little bit before or a little bit after. Because he's going to tell you how he did DNA on the fly larvae to figure out how far along they were in their life cycle. So he could know exactly when her body was dumped there. But that in and of itself isn't all you're going to have. Now that we know it's Mindy Mebane Kassotis, you're going to hear that law enforcement went and talked to the people that last saw her alive to, again, keep closing in that window, right? And you're going to hear that she was at her house with the defendant at the time in Savannah. Her parents had gone away for Thanksgiving weekend. Her dad's going to tell you that he saw her a couple of days before they left. They went up to Hilton Head with their youngest son, and that they were not at the house that weekend. The four of them, you're going to hear, lived together. Mindy, Mr. Kassotis, her mother, and her father. And that her mom and dad went away knowing that Mindy wasn't feeling well, but she was on bed rest from being 8 months pregnant. That's what her parents thought. In fact, you're going to hear that they thought that January was her due date. And that she didn't go because she was going to stay home. She didn't feel well. And you're going to also hear them tell you that they were very glad to hear when Mr. Kassotis advised them that Mindy was in the hospital, because they thought, great, she's going to get treatment. They're going to take care of her. We're not worried. So they weren't surprised when they came home and they didn't see Mindy. And you're going to hear one of the most compelling things. Her dad had hip surgery November 30th, 2022, when he came back from Hilton Head. And when he came back, he went into the hospital, St. Joseph Hamlet, near the house. It was an overnight stay. And on December 1st, when he came back, Mr. Kassotis helped him into the house with his wife. It's a couple of steps to walk in. He had just had hip surgery. And you're going to hear Mr. Kassotis told her parents, don't worry, I'll take care of Mr. Mebane. Go back to work. Mrs. Mebane, go back to work. I'll watch him. And while they're in the house together, he says to her father, I'm going to get Mindy. She's dead. I'm going to get Mindy is what you will hear, but she's dead. And he knew that. And I'll tell you why. The evidence is going to show that they were at this house in Savannah, and that in the house in Savannah, there's blood in the house, and it's Mindy's blood. And you're going to notice, you're going to see the photographs, that blood is right where her head would be on the futon. You're going to hear about blood specks on the wall that they needed to use Blue Star, a luminescent, to find, because it had been cleaned up. You're going to hear, we don't know whether she died there. But there was definitely a bloodletting event there. And the only person with access was Nicholas James Kassotis. So we follow his car, because now we know it's the 29th, 27th through the 29th. And what we find, his car is a green Ford Explorer. If you see at the top of that frame, there's a City of Riceberry building, and that building has a camera. And that camera captures a green Ford Explorer driving past it November 29th. I submit to you, the evidence will show that that's the same day, if you recall, he bought that knife that was found on the crime scene. 8:56 in the morning. You're going to see his car. I submit to you, drive right past it. And I'm going to submit to you that the evidence that you're going to see that tells you why we know it's his car is that car has Bluetooth. When you buy a new car and your phone can sync so you can talk on your phone. Lots of those new cars do that. AT&T keeps those records. Not the Jim McIntyres, but AT&T. I'm going to submit to you an independent third party, no interest in this case. And those records are going to show his car pinged from his house to Home Depot and his whole drive right down 95 to Riceboro, right across into where he dumps the body. And he's going to admit on the audio statements to law enforcement, post Miranda, an attorney who waived his rights. He told them, I'll turn off my GPS. And you're going to hear the surprise in his voice when he learns they can track his car too. You're going to hear that the car and the phone follow the same path. You're going to see that witness from Riceboro, and you're going to see those photographs. And there they are. You're going to see a Ford Explorer drive right past it. You're going to see the Georgia records that show his car. You're going to see the car records that show he bought that car with cash. Almost $46,000 of cash. But he claims Mr. McIntyre was running all of his money, and he had no money. That's what you're going to hear. And we're going to tell you where he had money from. You're going to see the car come, and you're going to see the car go. And I told you, we followed the films. That's why I said December 1st. When he tells her parents he's going to the hospital to pick her up, she's already dead. Because he put her there. You're going to hear why everybody believed Mr. Kassotis. Counsel just told you all these wonderful things about his client. Decorated military veteran, prosecutor, judge advocate general with the Navy, Pentagon, Boston, 2 law degrees.
Hell yeah. Hey, Lord Jay. What up, Lord Jay? Tori is at her sister's right outside of Pensacola, hanging with her. She's been under the weather lately. But yeah, she's in sunny Florida.
It's not just her family that believed him. Everybody believed him. On paper, he looked like Chris Truman. I submit to you, that's what the evidence will show. And then you're going to hear the statements from the defendant. I submit to you, you should listen to them very carefully. There's a lot of information in there. And it's information that law enforcement was able to run down. It's not just lies. It's things that are impossible, I submit to you. The question becomes why, right?
MJ, I keep trying to put this joint down, let it go out. It just won't go out.
Well, it just wants you to smoke it. It's a sign.
It's hitting really hard. Man. We might
Really?
try out tonight. This is one of those bottom of the can. I roll all the cigs
God.
over the can, and a little bit falls out. And then when the bottom of the can fills up, you got like 15 different strains down there. Oh, it's the best.
It's like Russian roulette with weed.
No, I call it the coat of many colors.
Oh, geez. Oh, you're
Yeah,
so good.
2 is an over under. 3 is a triple Indy. 4 is a 4 horseman. And anything with 5 or more is a coat of many colors. Don't forget that.
Oh, yeah, I'll
Mr.
remember
Weinstein talked a little
that.
bit about the divorce. And I'm going to submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, that after 10 years as a decorated military veteran, Mr. Kassotis just leaves the Navy. But he leaves because he owes his first wife $1,500,000+. And the Navy is going to make him pay it. I submit to you that divorce you're going to hear about, and you're going to hear about it from the understanding of why him and Mindy were on the run. I submit to you, Mindy will be afraid. I submit to you, he fooled her too. I submit the evidence is going to show that her close family and friends are going to tell you that she was afraid. She bought it, and she paid for that with her life. I submit to you, you're going to hear that there was a new woman, that Mr. Kassotis, before he even had this death, was already moved on. He started talking to a new woman. She didn't know. You're going to hear she did not know he had a wife. She was not from here. She was not in any way aware of what was going on. And that he tricked her too. And you're going to hear that he was running as quick as he could away from Georgia. You're going to hear that they got remarried. She was found on December 2nd, that he was already engaged by February, and that he was already married again by April. That he changed his name several times in multiple states. I submit to you, he didn't want to pay that money. That's what you're going to hear. And you're going to hear how he tried to seal off the loose ends. Changing his name, he burned the car. I Submit to you, that's what the evidence will show. To the ground. March. Brand new Ford Explorer.
Doesn't look like it was burned to the ground.
Actually, that's pretty bad.
It's still
But
standing.
you can't really say to the ground, but can't
I
believe
don't understand. Okay, he owes the wife, or first wife.
1.6 million.
Why not delete her? Why the second wife?
Because I think that was more money. More money.
Interesting.
Didn't burn that. Look, it didn't burn that taillight out though.
That's what the evidence is going to show. So let's talk just
That's a good taillight.
You're going to hear that the state has charged the defendant.
They'd be in
You're
trouble.
going to listen to the court. So anything I say about the law, if there's any discrepancy, you follow Judge Rhodes. Malice murder, intent to kill. Every blow is an intent to kill when you're striking somebody in the head. Do we know if that killed her? No, we don't. But we know that all of those contributed to her death, and you're going to hear that from the pathologist, medical doctor. You're going to also hear felony murder, which is aggravated assault, where you intend to cause harm, serious bodily injury, but it ultimately kills them. So even if you don't think for a moment that at each blow was intent to kill, felony murder, if I intended to assault, then they die, it's felony murder. And you're going to hear something about venue, where she was killed. Counsel pointed out quite a bit about what the state doesn't know. We don't. And the law in the state of Georgia, and you're going to listen to Judge Rose, specifically instructs on venue. It talks about either the county in which the cause of death was inflicted, which in this case, you're going to hear everyone say they don't know exactly when she took her last breath because her body was dismembered and tossed over 3 miles. But they also, under the law, it says, if a dead body is discovered in this state and it cannot be readily determined in what county the cause of death was inflicted, it shall be considered that the cause of death was inflicted in the county in which the dead body was discovered. The law anticipates cases like this. And I submit to you, that's what we have. Mindy's body was in Liberty. That's why we are here.
A submission on it.
You're also going to hear about concealing the death of another, trying to hide the death itself. You're going to hear about the possession of the knife, and you're going to hear about more than one knife, the deer processing kit and the knife itself, that Milwaukee knife. And I submit to you, you have to get through the flesh to get to the bones.
Ugh.
You're going to hear the explain you can't do tools with the flesh. You're going to hear about possession of tools for the commission of the crime. Those would be the Ford Explorer itself for transporting the body, the insulation knife to get access to the bones, the deer processing kit to potentially cut through the bones, and the tubs that were used to transport her, the shovel that was used to bury her head and partially one of her legs, and the removal of body parts. Because they got moved all over. You're going to see them all over that map.
At this point, I'm expecting this lady to say, and if that wasn't enough, he dropped his driver's license in the bucket underneath the torso. I mean, come on.
And then the tampering.
We do.
Trying to get rid of biological evidence. I submit to you, ladies and gentlemen, a prosecutor would know that. I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, to bring your common sense. Follow the law. And give justice to me in heaven. Thank you.
I am. You know what? We just roll right on over to the first witness.
Snaps.
What?
Everybody snap their fingers. Snaps.
Okay.
For the prosecutor. I wish she would get like a tailored suit though. It's kind of boring.
Yeah. This is the hunter who found the body.
A deer processing kit.
Yeah. But this dude's just out in the woods hunting, trying to kill things. He found something another dude killed.
David Olin, Robert. Olin, O-L-I-N.
Mr. Love, where do you live?
Statesburg.
How long you been living there?
All my life.
How old are you?
62.
Are you employed?
Yes, sir.
Where do you work?
Lubbock Mill Excavating. Self-employed.
What kind of business is that?
Earthwork, dirt work, heavy equipment, construction.
You married?
Yes, sir.
How long you been married?
35 years.
You have kids?
Yes, sir.
How many?
3.
What's the oldest? What's the youngest?
35 and 27.
20.
Boys or girls?
Others.
What's the oldest son do?
Builds cabinets.
The middle son?
works for fire retardant company.
And the youngest son?
He works for me
Okay.
in construction business.
Are you affiliated with any house of worship in Bullitt County?
Yes, sir. Statesboro worship.
And how long you been affiliated with that?
Just 2 years, because we just started this church.
Before that, were you affiliated with
First
another?
United Methodist Church.
And how long you
All
with?
my life.
Are you familiar with the portal?
Yeah, and his whole testimony is only 7 minutes.
This is a true blue collar boy.
Yeah, that's one of the blue collar boys with money. He ain't no regular. His hands probably soft, like he been soaking in palm oil.
Yes, sir.
What is that?
That's a hunt club been in existence since 1900 in below Riceboro down here.
How long you been a member?
15 years.
How big is that hunting area?
13,000 acres.
Here.
Is there an older
Right.
in Georgia?
No, sir.
Is there a clubhouse on that property?
Yes, sir.
No. Hold on. Yeah.
Describe for the jury that clubhouse.
It's a block building, probably 40 by 70, with 4 bedrooms and a big kitchen in the back, in a den in the middle with a big fireplace.
And how does that clubhouse get used?
When we hunt, that's where we stay. You know, most everybody's from Statesboro or Portal, which is right above Statesboro, so we all stay there in the bedrooms. There's 4 bedrooms.
So you say most of the members are from Statesboro?
Yes, sir.
Why isn't there a hunt club in Statesboro?
There is, but just we like to get away. We try to stay out of trouble, but
Let me direct your attention to Friday, December 2nd, 2022. Did you have occasion to be on?
Doesn't that guy look like when he goes home, he has a shaggy looking dog and a bunch of Fraggle Rock kids living in the damn walls? I just want to be down at Fraggle Rock right there. And what is this chick in the background doing back here? What is she like? Trying to hook up with an inmate or something?
Maybe if she tilts her ear to the
What?
ceiling, she can hear better.
She looks like she's trying to tilt it to show somewhere. Let's go this way.
Yeah, she's like, over here, honey. Come
Who's she
on.
looking at now? Court reporter?
Maybe, or maybe the hunter. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, you want to
Portal
hunt
Hunting
me?
Club property.
I can't run fast.
That day.
yes, sir.
Was there something special about that weekend?
I don't think so. Was that the weekend after Thanksgiving?
Were you with any other hunters?
A group of us, yes, sir. Probably 30 people.
Now, describe for the jury when you're down there hunting, how the hunting takes place.
Usually surround the block and then turn dogs out for strategic places that can try to jump a deer and run a deer. That's what happened.
And did you have another hunter nearby where you were?
Yes, sir.
On the track, right.
He was down probably a couple of yards from me.
So while you were out there hunting, did you see a deer?
Yes, sir.
Did you take a shot?
I did.
What happened after you took a shot?
I killed it.
On the spot.
Yes, sir.
Then what do you do after you shoot the deer?
Well, I was just went down there to look, and David, my next later, he came down with me, and we walked down there and saw the deer. And that's when I saw the torso in the ditch, and I thought it was a hog. There's a bunch of wild hogs down there, and I thought it was a hog. And then I looked at the deer, and we went over. He said, "What's that?" And we went over and looked at it, and wound up being a torso.
Did you touch it or do anything with it?
Oh.
In the water.
My God, I thought he found a leg.
Exhibit number 2.1. Do you recognize what this is a picture of?
Yes, sir.
What is it a picture
That's
of?
a picture of the torso we found.
Does it fairly and accurately depict the torso as you saw that thing?
Yes, sir. I really don't remember, but one arm. I don't know if this arm was under the water or what.
You gonna mistake it with the other torso he saw that day?
Yeah, there was a few of them.
Like I didn't just
Um,
hold it, like Tropic Thunder. And he's out there with the head. Yeah, that looks a lot like the torso we're talking about.
he's like, you know what? I seen so many torsos that day. I had to tag them, and I used up all my deer tags.
Yeah. What color was this torso? Okay, I think I know which one you're talking about now.
I would ask that this time be published for jury.
You may, sir.
That's fine. So what did you do after you discovered that?
We went back to the clubhouse and told some senior members, and they called the sheriff's office. 911.
How far is the clubhouse from where you found it?
Probably 2 miles.
And after that, somebody called the police and where did you go?
I stayed at the clubhouse until they called us back down there.
Okay, and ultimately you went back down there
Yes,
around the
sir.
time the police arrived?
Yes, sir.
Do you know Philip McCallum?
I do.
Was Mr. McCallum out there that day?
He was.
For so long as you were in the presence of that torso, did you or any of the other hunters touch it?
Oh, no.
To touch
You
it.
recall how long it took the first officer to get there?
Did you
Not long at all. Probably 15, 20 minutes at most.
When that first officer arrived, was the torso in the same condition as you saw it?
Yes, sir.
While you were there, did you see the police put up crime scene tape?
Yes, sir.
And when the tape was put up, did you and the other hunters move outside the crime scene tape?
Yes, sir.
And were you?
But I got an update for you, MJ.
Oh God.
It's just on this right here. I'm almost to 50,000 views.
Oh shit.
7,392. And a lot going on this week. I didn't post a whole lot. But by Wednesday of next week, we will have busted that.
You think that long? I think by because you're not gonna post this weekend, or do you have more videos to post?
No, I ain't got anything to post.
Oh dang.
Probably break that easily by Tuesday, but it won't load in there until Wednesday.
Yeah.
On that 50,000, people will be like, "How the fuck did this retard get 50,000 views? This is fucking horrible. Like, who's watching this shit?"
Did you see what he found?
Yes, sir.
What was it?
A tote turned upside down, if I remember correctly.
That's all the questions I have.
I represent Mr. Kassotis. Just a few questions for you. How long have you been hunting?
All my life.
And that year, I guess of 2022, when was the hunting season that year?
Like third Saturday in October till about the second Saturday in January.
How did you know it was hunting season?
I should have questioned, to be honest with you. I mean, my life surrounds that.
It's not a secret that it's hunting season, right?
Indeed.
You don't need to show some special handshake to know it's hunting season,
No,
right?
sir. No, sir.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions.
Special hand signals.
Thank you.
So you call the Anthony Brown?
Oh God, Danny leaves me up here alone. This is what happened. Oh, okay.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Good morning. I hope you had a good evening. I appreciate you being here on time this morning, and I trust that you were all able to abide by the court's instructions and not have any access to any media accounts regarding this trial. And again, emphasize that is so important.
Dun it.
I'm here. I'm looking for the new stuff, man. Damn. Where you think I'm gonna go? Just gotta find my.
That's very true, Mary B. Very true. Dakota's pretty dumb, and I don't know why he hasn't started a YouTube yet. We'd be rich.
Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Where did you go?
I don't know.
Oh,
Over here.
I was just looking for my stuff there. I had lost it. Dear sir, I had lost my stuff. Have you seen my stuff? It's right there. Right there where
It
you
was
put it.
lost, but now it is found.
No, it wasn't lost. It's right there where I put it.
The last place you look.
Yeah.
Always.
That's what makes it fun, Lord J. Jeez, if I had to do, there's no way. No fucking way I would ever do this over. No way. If I quit smoking, I'm just gonna throw this computer in the garbage.
Yeah, we'll all be screwed.
Yeah, y'all have to hang out with each other. Go hang out in Raptors chat with Dean, try to figure out what the fuck they're talking about. We've tried it, haven't we, MJ? We've tried it. Mary B, we all went in there supportive. But
Raptor's voice is crazy.
It sounds like he's in the hills of Virginia. I mean, I like watching it, but it's funny. Pretty funny. I just
Bunch
don't
of
know.
nerds.
Yeah. Nerding out.
Yeah.
Must be fun. You know, he's only got like 700 subscribers, but he gets like 150 people in his chat. That's a high percentage.
Oh.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Before you're seated, please raise your right hand and take the oath.
Do you swear and affirm the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Please have a seat.
State your name, please.
Anthony Brown.
How are you currently employed?
Went to Liberty County Sheriff's Office, but assigned to the U.S. Marshal Task Force.
What do you do when you're assigned to the U.S. Marshal Task Force?
We're responsible for tracking fugitives.
Now, before you were in civil,
Now look at her back there. Whoever it was, she was head kicking.
Yeah, she's not so giggly now.
She's not so fucking happy now. This bitch over here that's happy now. Look at her. She's like, nah. Black guy. That's what she's doing. Say, oh, I'm gonna pay attention now.
law enforcement, were you in
Right.
military law enforcement anyway?
Yes.
Where?
United States Army.
From when to when?
From 2002 to 2008.
And what were your duties as law enforcement in the Army?
Served on patrol as a military police and also as a desk sergeant at Fort Monroe.
Dang, military police.
Law enforcement officer.
Yeah, that's what he said. Thank you for your
Okay.
service, sir. And this lady would like to personally thank you for your service.
22, 23 years.
What's your current rank?
Lieutenant.
Did you have occasion to be working on Friday, December 2nd, 2022 at around 4:50 p.m.?
Yes.
And around that time, did you receive a dispatch to
Yeah,
go
right,
somewhere?
right.
Yes.
Got it.
Where were you dispatched to?
I was dispatched to Barrington Ferry Road near the water tower out in Riceboro.
What time did your shift begin that day? Do you remember?
4:45.
And did you go to that location?
Yes.
When you got there, what happened?
Upon arrival, I met with the caller, who was George Kell, who stated that they had found a headless body in a ditch, and he took me to where it was at. I followed him in my patrol vehicle.
About how long a drive was it from the clubhouse to the tour center?
Well, we didn't meet at the clubhouse. We met at if I remember correctly, it was at Sandy Run in Barrington.
Cherry, you've literally been here the whole time. It's not complicated. This guy went to the Bass Pro Shops, bought a fucking knife, turned the GPS on his phone in his car immediately when he got in there. Traced every step that he took, which he went to all the drop sites in his car. Didn't even bother going that far off the road. And then we think he dropped his driver's license in the bucket with the torso.
He put a signature on it.
Yeah, and the last guy was the guy who found it, and this is the guy who was on duty, I guess, near a military base that went to view the torso.
Ferry. It had to be less than a mile, maybe a mile close to something like that.
When you got to the scene, well, what did you observe?
When I arrived on scene, I saw some other vehicles parked on the road that we drove down. There was also some other hunters that was standing around near a ditch.
I'm showing you now what's marked as State Exhibit 2.2. Do you recognize what this is?
Yes.
What is this?
That appeared to be my patrol vehicle with the hunters that I made contact with on the road that we drove down to get to the body.
This looks like about the time you arrived on the scene.
Yes.
I'm not putting that up for
Does it narrow and accurately depict the scene as you observed it as you arrived?
Yes.
I'll tender in evidence States Exhibit 2.2.
Any objections?
No objection.
It's admitted.
I'm going to show you what's marked as States Exhibit 2.1. Previously been admitted. You recognize what this is photographed of?
Yes.
What is it a picture of?
It appeared to be the body that was in the ditch upon my arrival there.
With court's permission, can we publish Exhibit 2.2 to the jury?
Yes, sir.
Are you familiar with this area where the torso was found?
No, I had never patrolled that area, even though it was in my jurisdiction. I had never drove into the hunt club.
And what is your jurisdiction?
My jurisdiction at the time was Liberty County, the county as a whole.
And the torso was found in Liberty County?
Yes.
After you arrived, what were some of the first things that you directed the other officers to do?
So the next officer on the scene was Corporal Martin. I advised him to put up a crime scene tape so that we can block it off to start a crime scene log for anybody coming in and out of the crime scene.
And when that crime scene tape was put up, where were the hunters directed to go?
After I spoke with them and took down their names, they was escorted out of the crime scene.
You mentioned something about a crime scene log?
Yes.
Who maintained that log?
I did.
I'm showing you what's marked as State Exhibit 2.3. And ask if you can identify that.
Yes.
What is it?
It appeared to be the crime scene log that I started while on the scene.
And it's a true and accurate copy of the original that you prepared?
Yes.
I'll tender this time. State Exhibit 2.3. No objection.
It's admitted.
Can you see 2.3 from your monitor?
Yes, sir.
Was a detective from the Liberty County Sheriff's Office called to the scene?
Yes, sir.
And who was that detective?
Jack Frost.
And when did Jack Frost arrive on the scene?
Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up. We've been looking for this motherfucker everywhere, MJ.
Oh, God.
You know who it is?
Who?
Jack fucking Frost. These
Oh,
motherfuckers
yeah.
got Jack Frost. Look,
They got him?
he's there with them. He's like working at the police station.
That's
Arrive
where he's
on
been
scene.
hiding.
He needs to arrive on scene down here in the South or we all die.
He needs to stay the hell out of Massachusetts.
What?
Yeah, I don't want him.
Well, he's involved.
We'll have to make a trade.
Report, please.
Can you see it on the screen, or would you rather have a paper copy?
So the time into the crime scene was 17:13 hours, which is 5:13 p.m. Yes, sir. 5:13 p.m. is the time he entered the crime scene.
And you have listed in your report the hunters that were already there when you arrived?
Yes, sir.
Do you have them listed by name?
Yes, sir, by name.
Could you report to the jury the names of the hunters you found on the scene when you arrived?
Yes, sir. It was George Kell, David Lovett, David Brennan, Casey Durden, Gerald Kell, Philip McCullough, and Thomas Stedman. Stephen Stedman.
And what do you show the time that they were on scene?
The times I showed for those personnel was 16:45, which is 4:45 p.m.
I heard you call out the name of Philip McCullough. Was he one of the hunters?
So he was one of the personnel on scene at the time. So
Were you present when Mr. McCullough found something?
yes, I was.
Do you recall what it was he found?
Yeah. So at one point we walked back towards Barrington Ferry Road from the road that we were on, and while we were sitting there talking, he noticed a knife at the edge of the wood line where the road meet with Barrington Ferry.
Oh my God, he left the knife to MJ with his bloody handprints on it.
Those dude's a mess.
Why has he refused every plea deal up until what?
I think he's convinced himself he didn't do it.
There's no way. He definitely did it. There's probably going to be video of it.
Like, he is the reason that saying caught red-handed.
Yeah.
He's
Oh my God, this guy.
I'll sustain your objection.
Based on what you were told, did you go to a location and see something?
Yes.
What did you see?
I saw a knife at the edge of the wood line where it meets Barrington Ferry Road, and there was also some Tupperware type bins that was there also.
Was that inside or outside the crime scene tape that was initially put out?
At the time, it was outside.
And did that change the location of the crime scene tape after that was discovered?
Yes, at that time I directed my patrol guys to push the crime scene tape back up to Barrington Ferry Road beyond the evidence that we were looking at.
At some point, was a decision made to call in the GBI to investigate?
Yes.
Were you present when Agent Sands arrived on scene?
Yes.
Based on your crime scene log, what time did Agent Sands arrive?
19:59 hours, which is 7:59 p.m.
That's all the questions I have.
Some cross-examination.
Yes, thank you. That's fine, Mr. Brown. What's your title?
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant Brown. Okay, I apologize.
Yeah, thanks, sir.
Lieutenant Brown, my name is Doug Weinstein. I represent Mr. Kassotis in this case. You testified that when you got to the initial scene, when you first pulled up, there were other vehicles on the scene.
Yes, sir.
How many other vehicles were there?
I do not recall.
More than 2? More than 5?
It had to be more than 2 because there was vehicles on the scene to include the caller who took me to the scene, I believe.
And what kind of road is that? Do you remember if that's a paved road or a dirt road?
It's a dirt road. It was a dirt road.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And what efforts were made to secure the road itself?
Meaning like the crime scene?
To keep vehicles from driving. Were any efforts made to keep vehicles from driving up and down that road?
So we allowed those vehicles to leave off of there, but after that, no other vehicles were allowed on the road. Yes, sir.
And how far was the torso found from the road?
I don't recall the approximate distance.
Okay. Thank you, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
No further questions.
Thank you.
What? No cross?
That's it, yeah.
Wow.
They know. They're like, yeah, we're not even gonna cross these people because he's cooked.
We're gonna wait for the time to be right.
There is no defense.
These things are going fast. So. Might as well.
It's so weird how quick a normal trial goes by. And then, like, we had Karen Reed's trial that was like, 6 months
forever.
long at a whack.
Yep. 6 months of pretrial.
Crazy.
Bunch of hearings. There were hearings in this. I just don't think they were. There was a lot of them.
It probably took
Jen.
like 5 minutes.
Sorry. What'd you say?
Their pretrial hearings probably took like 5 minutes.
I know. A lot of these witnesses are only 10 minutes. We're going to blaze through these in the next 12 hours.
Yeah.
Back in place. Everyone, please be seated.
Down
Please call the next witness. Philip McCallum. Sir, please raise your right hand.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Please be seated.
State your name, please, for the jury.
Philip McCallum.
How you spell your last name?
McCallar.
Where do you live?
Recently moved to Shelby Bluff, Georgia.
Before that, where did you live?
Fleming, Georgia.
How long have you lived here in Georgia?
48 years.
How old?
48.
Where do you work?
Daybreak Industrial.
And what kind of business is that?
I'm in the land clearing section of it.
How long have you been employed by that operation?
February of 2021.
Before that, how were you employed?
Coastal Industrial Contractors.
And how long did you work with them?
2 years maybe.
Before that?
Coastal Electric Cooperative.
And how long you worked with them?
20.
20 years?
Yes, sir.
What was your job position?
I was a lead line technician.
You married?
Yes, sir.
How long you been married?
September will be 25 years.
How many kids?
1
Girl or boy?
girl.
How old?
22.
Are you a member of any volunteer organizations?
Coastal Conservation Association.
And what does that organization do?
Pretty much helps protect the coastal marshlands.
You familiar with the Portal Hunting Club?
I'm very familiar with it.
How are you familiar with it?
I've been hunting there since 2010.
How old is that club?
1900 it was founded.
Is there an older hunting club in Georgia?
No, sir.
Who was that club established by?
A group of fellows from Portal, Georgia.
What's that name?
Statesboro, Bullitt County.
And why would Bullitt County people establish a hunting club down here?
In 1900, there were no deer in Bullitt County.
The majority of the members of that hunting club are from where?
Bullitt County.
Were you on the hunting club property on Friday, December 2nd, 2022?
Yes, sir.
And why were you down there?
Because I hunt every Friday and Saturday during hunt season.
Was that a special hunting weekend?
We hunt every weekend from October the 19th to January the 15th. We hunt.
Describe for the jury how those hunts take place.
We dog hunt. So we'll have a block of land that's got a road completely around it. We'll put standards all the way around the road, and we'll send the dogs in it, and the dogs run the deer out, and the people on the road shoot the deer.
I'm showing you now what's marked as State Exhibit 2.4. You recognize that?
Yes, sir. That's my truck.
What's in the truck?
Dogs.
Your dogs?
Some of them probably are. Some of them probably somebody else. Because we all get together. But the majority of those are mine. Yes, sir.
Does it fairly and accurately depict those dogs in the back of your truck on December 2nd, 2022?
Yes, sir.
I've shown this previously to council.
Yes, it is. 2.4.
2.4, I would ask that you publish. You see it in your screen?
Yes, sir.
Did you run into Olin Lovett while you were there?
Yes, sir.
And did Olin Lovett report to you that he had discovered something? Objection. You're not asking for what he said. Did he report something to you?
No, sir.
While you were on the scene, did you observe you recognize this photograph has previously been admitted into evidence?
Yes, sir.
It's States Exhibit 2.1. What is that?
That's the torso that we found in the ditch.
And what did you do after this was discovered, you personally?
I stayed there until the law arrived, and when the law arrived, I was escorted to the head of the road for questioning later.
Did you touch the torso?
No, sir.
Did anyone in your presence touch the torso?
No, sir.
You stayed there until law enforcement people arrived?
Yes, sir. The first deputy that arrived, I was there when he arrived. Yes, sir.
Showing you now is marked as States Exhibit number 2.5, which has previously been shown to counsel. You ready to take this picture? What's this a picture of?
That's where we was at when before the law got there. Or when the law got there, that's where we was found the torso.
How close to the torso are these people standing?
10 yards, maybe. It's in the ditch off the road right there.
How close to the roadway was the torso?
Like man would be
2 foot, 3 foot.
Close.
Yeah.
There's some markings on here. It looks like somebody wrote names on here. Do you know who wrote those names?
I did.
When you looked at this picture before trial, does it fairly and accurately depict the hunters that were on the scene that day?
Yes, sir.
I'll tender States Exhibit number 2.5. Okay. And ask that it be published. Can you see that on your screen?
Yes, sir.
And the fellow wearing the yellow shirt, it looks yellow, that's you, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're pointing in some direction. Where are you pointing towards?
That's back towards the main county road, I believe.
And where would the torso be in this picture in relation to where you're standing?
That could directly behind me.
Now, were you present when there was crime scene tape put up around the scene?
That was put up when we was escorted back to the main road.
Okay. And how long did you stay at the scene?
At the actual scene here,
Yes.
I was probably there an hour.
While you were at the scene, did you discover anything?
Not there, no, sir.
Where was it that you discovered something?
After we had been escorted back to the main road where we was told to wait on other law enforcement together.
And what did you discover?
A coat and a knife.
I'm showing you what's marked for States Exhibit number 2.6, which has previously been shown to counsel. You left the one phone?
Yes, sir.
What's the picture of?
That's the coat that I found.
Can you see a knife?
It should be to the right side of it. Okay.
Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
What color is it?
It was on.
Does it fairly and accurately depict the tote and the knife as you found it that day?
Yes, sir.
I'm showing you now that's marked for States Exhibit 2.7, which has previously been shown to counsel. Do you recognize this?
Yes, sir.
What's the picture of?
The knife that I found beside the coat.
And it looks like white stuff on
There was a
it.
paper towel rag or something. I didn't get real close to it.
Does it fairly and accurately depict the
Yes,
knife and the rag that you observed that day?
Yes, sir.
Did you touch the knife or the tote?
No, sir.
I tender States Exhibit number 2.6 and 2.7.
Any objections? Right there.
If we could publish 2.6. Can you see 2.6 on your screen?
Yes, sir.
And
MJ, I think everybody's under the impression that we were just joking when we said we're doing a 12-hour stream.
Yeah, now they're all bailing on us.
We're doing
What?
12 hours into Sunday. So we got to make it to Sunday before the 12 hours starts to count.
No, we're not even 2 hours into Saturday.
We're not even 2 hours in.
Crazy. Can we just take a moment to appreciate Laura J's comments tonight?
I know she's on fire.
I've had to mute twice because of her.
Yeah, just like the weed I just smoked. She's on fire. The no neck hoe that should be a illegal comment, like a penalty flag.
I
Listen,
just stopped crying because of that one. Don't bring it up.
Laura J got red carded on that one. It's a full red card. Egregious. That was an egregious foul.
the knife is approximately where in relation to that tote?
It was to the right back.
Behind it.
Yep.
And the color of the blade on that knife in the picture looks like to be like
Blackish kind of.
any other color.
There was some orange on the handle.
If we can now publish States Exhibit number 2.7. You see that on your screen?
Yes, sir.
That's the knife that you discovered?
Yes, sir.
When you discovered, what did you do?
Advised the deputy that was there with us.
So all this occurred on Friday, December 2nd, 2022, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you have occasion to return Saturday?
I did.
For what purpose?
To hunt again.
And while you returned on Saturday, did you discover anything?
Yes, sir.
What did you find Saturday?
A leg.
Where was the leg?
Approximately 2.5 miles from where we found the torso. Further in, the leg was.
It's going to be a while for you to hit any of the bumpers with your bowling ball.
Right? There ain't no boundary.
We ain't found one. You found one, you let us know immediately.
Actually in McIntosh County.
Who are these hunks that just came in the back?
we say that, but obviously we found some boundaries. Yeah, we're on our second ride. I mean,
20 yards.
How did you find it?
Buzzard flew up, and I got out the truck to see if somebody had shot a deer and not find it, and it was a leg, not a deer.
I'm sorry, the United States Executive 2.8, 2.9, and 2.10, which have previously been shown to council.
now, was the leg running through the woods on its own and you shot the leg? What?
It was getting away.
Hold on a second. Hold on. This can't be right. Hold on.
And it was a leg, not a deer.
What?
That's it.
How did you find it?
Buzzard flew up, and I got out the truck to see if somebody had shot a deer and not find it, and it was a leg, not a deer.
Oh,
I'm sorry, the United States Executive Order 2.8, 2.9, and 2.10, which have previously been shown to council.
really? I thought he said he shot at a deer and he found the leg. So the leg may have been running through the woods on its own, but I heard it wrong.
The buzzard was probably, oh, God.
Oh my God.
Showing you first, States Exhibit 2.8. What's that a picture?
That's the picture of the leg.
Okay. States Exhibit number 2.9.
Same leg.
Just a little closer. States Exhibit 210.
Same leg.
A bit closer. A little closer. Do each of these exhibits fairly and accurately depict the leg as you saw it that day? Yes, sir. I'll tender it this time. States Exhibit 2.8, 2.9, and 2.10.
Hey, this is worse, but it keeps making me think of the leg lamp in the Christmas story. I'm not,
Jesus Christ.
No objection.
they keep asking him, like, did you touch it? Somebody went out there and fucking touched his torso, and we got to watch this whole thing to figure out who did it.
Right. Someone fess up. He's on it.
Somebody went out there like Tropic Thunder and thought it was fake.
We don't need to know what he did to it. Well,
Did
don't
you
get
touch
into all
the
that.
torso, creepy guy?
With court's permission, I'd like to publish States Exhibit number 2.8. Can you see that on your screen?
Yes, sir.
Now, if we publish States Exhibit 2.9. Can you see that on your screen?
Yes.
And States Exhibit 2.10. And I can't remember if you already answered this. About how far did you say the leg was from the torso?
Almost, I'd say 2.5 miles.
Thank you. That's all the questions that I have.
Thank you. Cross-examination? No questions. Well, thank you, Mr. Kelly.
They did, didn't they?
Yeah.
They just said no thanks again. No, we don't want to.
Crazy.
We're not going to reveal our hand yet. What? We're not going to
Hands
cross.
still out.
Please call the next.
Like, we're not cross-examining anybody. So quit asking us. God damn it, we're sitting here trying to relax. This trial, and you keep asking us. No, we're not cross-examining anything.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would call Special Agent Brett Dickerson of the GBI.
All right, sir, please raise your right hand. Take the oath.
Look, this dude's guilty as shit. We don't know why you're even calling these guys. But whatever. If you want to call them, I'm not wasting my time asking any questions.
All right. We're just going to sit here and get paid.
And it's like, this dude's guilty as fuck. He even said it. There's video. We got his ID, his fingerprints, GPS tracking.
You swear to affirm the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
This is actually 3 hours long, so we ain't gonna watch all this.
Oh, damn.
So you need to decide
Better
now.
ruin the vibe.
2 hours is here. Do you want to do? How long do you want this stream to go? How long does this have to go on? Another
That's
hour?
long.
Should we
Oh
do
my
3 hours
God.
always? Or should we cut it at like in just like 30 minutes? But if we do 2.5, we might as well do 3.
You're such a bad influence. You know it is 1:45 right now.
I know, that's what I'm saying. We can save this whole thing because this is the OBI or This is one of their forensic people. GBI, Special Agent Brett Dickerson. Welcome to the stage, ladies and gentlemen. GBI Special Agent Brett Dickerson, who is also a sponsor of Dick and Cider. You know what I mean? It's hard apple cider. Dick and Cider.
I
Whatever.
can't stand any of you tonight. Can you highlight Joe Biffle's comment?
Good morning, Agent Dickerson.
Good morning.
Can you please state and spell your name for the court reporter?
My name is Brett Dickerson. It's BRETTDICKERSON.
What do you do for a living, sir?
I'm a special agent for the Georgia Bureau of Investigation.
And a red card.
Have you worked for any law enforcement agencies other than?
Joe Biffle, you're ordered to go to church this Sunday. And you have to go to a black church, and you have to spend at least 8 hours there.
Oh, yeah.
The Georgia Bureau of Investigation?
Yes, ma'am. I started my career with the Sheriff's Office in Scriven County.
And just so that we kind of try to abbreviate this some, do they go by the GBI?
Yeah, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, yes, ma'am. GBI.
So I'm not going to say Georgia Bureau of Investigation 100 times. So can we call it the GBI?
Sure thing.
Okay. And you said, where did you work before that?
The Scriven County Sheriff's Office in Sylvania, Georgia.
Okay. How long did you work for them?
About 21 years.
And before that?
That was my first law enforcement job.
Okay. And what did you do at Scranton?
I wore a lot of hats. So I started off working in the jail, also dispatched, and then later on went to the police academy and obtained certification as a peace officer in the state of Georgia. I worked in the road patrol division until 2007. At that point, I also graduated from Georgia Southern University and moved over to the criminal investigations division where I was an investigator. I served as an investigator from 2007 until 2018 when I was promoted to chief deputy of the agency and served there until I left.
Okay. So that was all in Scranton?
Correct.
Okay. And when you left Scranton County after 21 years, where did you go?
The GBI.
Okay. Tell the jury what and how you become a GBI special agent.
Well, there's an application process, obviously, and it's fairly extensive. It took me about a year or so to get on between the backgrounds and everything.
In that capacity, did you have any training that was in addition to your training from Scranton?
Correct. So once I was hired, we attended the basic agent course, which is usually around 14 weeks. And during that time, you're in residence at the Georgia Public Safety Training Center, and you're given the training needed to become a special agent.
Okay. And as a special agent, do you have any particular roles, or is it just one role as a special agent?
So my role at my GBI office here in Statesboro, Region 5, is that of a crime scene specialist.
And where is Region 5? What does that cover?
It's in Statesboro. We cover a 10-county area. The GBI is divided into regional offices. There's 15 throughout the state. They cover usually about 10 counties per office. Our office covers 10 counties, and it ranges from Jenkins and Scriven County up north down to the eastern part of the state to Chatham and Liberty.
Does that include McIntosh and Liberty counties?
It includes Liberty, but not McIntosh.
Okay. So Region 5 would have covered the location of the first recovery?
Correct.
Okay. And as a GBI agent, you indicated that you're as a crime scene investigator. Is that correct?
The crime scene specialist, yes, ma'am.
My apologies, crime scene specialist. And in that role, is there any specialized training for that in addition to your basic course?
Yes, ma'am. One of the reasons why the GBI assigns certain agents to serve as crime scene specialists is because there's a lot of technical knowledge that has to be applied to our role. And because of that, the training and some of the experience needed to function well in that role takes some time to accumulate. So we conduct monthly trainings every month, and there's also an onboarding process that involves week-long trainings at a time that involve basic training in crime scene investigation, but also documentation issues like crime scene photography and the like.
Did you receive specialized training in each of those individual sciences and areas that you just described?
I did.
So is there special training for actually how to take crime scene pictures?
Sure.
Okay. And did you get that training?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay. Can you tell the jury what's the difference between the GBI then and, for example, Scranton?
So, of course, the Sheriff's Office in Georgia is a constitutional office and responsible for enforcing the laws in the unincorporated areas of the county and for maintaining the county jail. There also is another layer of law enforcement, municipalities who employ police officers and have police departments to cover the incorporated areas. And the GBI serves to assist local agencies with anything that they might need in the way of an investigation. We do not have original jurisdiction, meaning we need to be requested to come in and help with an investigation.
So you don't come unless asked?
For most things, no. We do have by statute a few things that we can initiate investigation on, like drugs, a few things like that. But for the most part, we have to be asked to come in and help with an investigation by the sheriff or chief of police or sometimes a district attorney.
Okay. And in that role as the GBI agency, would that be fair to say then that there are partnerships with local agencies?
Oh, absolutely.
Can you explain to the jury how that works?
So, for myself, I worked in Scriven County for a very long time, and I know the county well. But I'm not going to know Liberty County nearly as well as a Liberty County deputy will. So, when we come into a county, we're going to rely on our local partners to, have the lay of the land and know the people, know the geographic area, and help us. We're going to work as a partnership. We're not going to take over an investigation unless an agency asks us to, and they need some third-party objectivity or something. An example would be an officer-involved shooting. If we were to work a case where
an agency needed that objectivity, then we would come in and provide that for them. And that partnership would be very limited. In this case, we work together very well.
Okay. So would it be fair to say that you worked with other agencies in connection with this case?
Yes.
Do you know how many agencies or who they were?
Not right away, but we work with other local partners, state and federal agencies.
Okay. And did that include the Liberty County Sheriff's Office?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When did you become first a crime scene investigator?
I was employed in that role from the very beginning in my employment in GBI.
And when was that?
In June of 2021.
Okay. So in June of 2021, but that was after you had already had 21 years in law enforcement, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. As a crime scene specialist at the GBI, you had that role. But before, when you were with Screven, did you have occasion to handle crime scenes as well?
Yes, ma'am. That was also one of my primary responsibilities at the Sheriff's Office, was responding to crime scenes as well as investigating them. So as a patrol deputy, I responded to crime scenes that we refer to as being in progress, the crimes that were still occurring when we received a call about them. And I also responded to many calls of crime scenes that were discovered after the fact, and then was responsible for that investigation.
Okay. Are you familiar with chain of custody?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell the jury what chain of custody means?
So chain of custody is just being able to account for an item from the time we pick it up at a crime scene to the time that it's presented in court later on, if needed.
And why is chain of custody important in your role?
We want to make sure that the same thing that we picked up at a crime scene is the same thing that we show the jury in the courtroom.
And are there specific procedures in place to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
And are those the procedures that you're required to know how to follow?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you follow those procedures in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And specifically, were you in that capacity as a crime scene specialist on December 2nd of 2022?
I was.
Okay. Can you tell us, have you received any specialized training in addition to that initial course with respect to crime scene processing itself?
Yes, ma'am. Crime scene processing is very broad and can encompass many things. So again, we train in many different areas. There are certain things that are basic procedures that are documentation, like report writing, taking photographs, although that can become kind of advanced too. And that progresses on through utilizing the different pieces of equipment that we have that require some technical training to use 3D laser scanners or small unmanned aerial systems like drones that we use to take photographs. And also the chemical processes that we employ to process scenes.
Okay. And would that include something called Blue Star?
Yes, ma'am. That's one of the chemicals that we use to search for blood.
Okay. Did you receive specialized training in how to actually process evidence collection in a crime scene specifically?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you receive specialized training with generalized blood spatter?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the use of Blue Star?
Yes, ma'am.
So you have specialized training in each of those areas for that accountability in connection to this case?
Yes, ma'am.
And of course, that training was before you started this case, correct?
Some of it was. We touched on some of it, and since then I've had some.
They've been working together, MJ, because he just said, I submit it was. She hadn't done any submissions since her submission of all the submissions earlier. So I know
She
he must.
submits a lot, so
Yeah, so he was listening to her submissions earlier. Now he's making his own submissions. But I got high and kind of got into what he was saying. Had to slow him down.
definitely in cahoots.
hmm They're in submission of each other.
Oh, they're in submission already.
Yeah, one of them.
Would it be fair to say that you continue to train all the time?
Yes, ma'am. We train again at least one day per month, and then usually several times a year we'll have weekly trainings or
Is that in
week-long trainings.
My apologies. Is that in addition to all of the crime scenes that you actually respond to?
Yes, ma'am.
Approximately how many crime scenes do you think you've processed roughly in a year?
In a year?
Sure.
I'm not really a statistician, but any given year, 25 to 30 would be a roundabout number. Some cases involve more than one scene. Some cases that we receive requests for don't have a crime scene. So those numbers are a little difficult to keep track of without specifically counting.
And within a crime scene, is it fair to say that sometimes there are many items that might be recovered?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
So
Sure.
in an individual crime scene, there may be hundreds even of items that you're recovering.
There can be.
Okay. Now, do you ever assist at crime scenes as opposed to being lead?
Yes, ma'am. Oftentimes you'll hear questions asked about crime scenes that ask for a specific answer, and it's kind of a running joke with our unit that the answer is usually it depends. So there's so many different circumstances that we run into that
I got a sneaky suspicion that this guy's not the funniest guy in the unit. You know what I mean?
I think it's pretty funny.
You thought that was funny?
He's probably got some good dad jokes going on.
He probably does. All
Not
right,
as
then.
funny as Laura J.
Hell no. Not even close. 20 more minutes. And we're going to end this thing.
See, I don't like knowing that we're gonna end it. That makes me want to be like, keep going. We
Well,
got this.
20 minutes, you can get awkwardly cut off as the
Almost every situation
end of
is
the
unique.
show.
We are trained to
That's why
recognize
you
certain
want to be
patterns
here.
and apply certain things.
No, I could cut myself off in the middle of a sentence. It would be cool. I'd
Not
rather,
as fun.
I'd rather wait until you're saying something important.
Yeah.
But no two crime scenes are the same. So, with that in mind, one of the things that we do first when we get to a crime scene is conduct an evaluation of that crime scene and determine what resources we need to adequately address it. In order to conduct that examination, if it's a large scene or if it's a scene that's located in an area where we may not have as much time to access the scene as we want to, then we're going to need to work very quickly, and we may need to deploy more personnel to get that done.
If you needed assistance, would you be able to ask for help?
Yes, ma'am.
And that would be potentially where you might be the one that's lead versus someone else being assist?
Correct.
Okay. And being the lead crime scene specialist, what responsibilities does that place on you?
So we're responsible as a lead crime scene to kind of direct the course of the crime scene investigation itself. The GBI takes a team approach when we accept the request for investigation. We'll have a case agent who acts much like a quarterback for a team. He's going to be the person, she's going to be the person who's going to go through and kind of direct the other agents and where to spend their efforts. And then adjust accordingly as new information becomes available. In a crime scene role, we do the same thing. As a lead agent, you're going to be the one responsible for working that crime scene, making sure that the items of evidence that are found there are documented properly and that they're collected and preserved in a manner that's going to allow them to be examined later on, either by us back at our office in our crime scene work area or at the crime lab.
And specifically, have you ever testified before on crime scene evidence collection?
Yes.
Have you testified in respect to crime scene investigations?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you give us an idea of how many times?
Again, I'm not a statistician, and I've testified many times to crimes of a less serious nature at the sheriff's office. More than 50, less than 100.
Okay.
I hate to be that general,
No,
but
that's fair. So approximately between 50 and 100.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. And have you ever been qualified as an expert in crime scene evidence collection and investigation?
I've not been qualified as an expert in that.
Have you ever been asked to?
No, ma'am.
Have you ever been denied?
No, ma'am.
So would it be fair to say today is the first time you're being asked to do so?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, at this time, the state offers crime scene specialist Brett Dickerson as an expert in the fields of crime scene investigation, crime scene evidence collection, and general blood status.
Does the defense counsel wish to take the witness on board?
Just briefly on the issue of blood scatter. Good morning, I'm Doug Weinstein, I represent Mr. Kassotis.
Good morning, sir.
Can you tell me about your training in blood spatter?
Yes, sir. So we have.
Hold on, what happened? Is this a voir dire?
Oh.
Didn't say voir dire. Why did she just enter? I guess she's got to do that for court purposes or whatever. This can't be the cross-examination, huh? No way, because they got it marked. No. So they just swapped attorneys.
During the basic or introduction courses, both at the Basic Agent Academy as well as the more in-depth training that we receive initially as crime scene specialists, we discuss the role of bloodstain pattern analysis in investigations and what it can do to advance those investigations. And then later on, we've had bloodstain pattern analysis courses that allow us to determine some things about how bloodstains are formed, the mechanics of them, and how to interpret them.
You said how blood stains are formed. Are you specifically speaking to spatter or when you
Spatter
say
is a type
stains?
of bloodstain. Yes, sir.
So when you say blood stains, it incorporates spatter plus other types of stains?
Correct. Bloodstain would be a more general term. Spatter is a specific type of stain.
Okay, I have no other questions, John. And I have no objection to this witness being billed as an expert.
Please restate the areas that you wish to have him qualified.
Your Honor, those were listed as crime scene investigation, crime scene evidence collection, and general blood spatter.
In that stipulation, the court qualifies the witness as an expert. He can give his opinions.
Were you on duty on December 2nd of 2022?
Yes, ma'am, I was on call.
Can you tell us what on call means?
I can. So during regular work hours, which are usually 8:30 to 5, Monday through Friday, we receive a call for.
Why does she smile so big?
Oh,
You're stupid. Don't worry, guys. We can get your definition. What a rude.
So, are they qualifying expert witnesses in front of the jury?
They got to be because now she's asking questions.
That's weird.
I guess that's just part of the way they do it there.
I was saying, where's Eileen when you need her?
Probably asleep. She's had a lot of going on too this week.
It's had a rough week, man.
And I wish it would have turned out different. But it's not over yet.
Right.
A scene that we respond directly.
Stream's almost over. Thank God.
From the office. However, crime doesn't always happen at convenient times, so we have an on-call schedule. Myself and another crime scene specialist share that burden. So usually about 50% of the time, I'm required to be on call. On-call status with GBI means I need to be able to return to a ready state of being able to respond directly to a scene of a crime within about 30 minutes or so of receiving a notification.
Were you on call on December 2nd of 2022?
Yes, ma'am, I was.
Can you tell us, without giving us any details, how far away from Riceboro, Liberty County, were you at on December 2nd, 2022?
Yes, ma'am. I still live in Sylvania. I left the sheriff's office. I didn't move. So with Screamy County being in our region, it's at the very north end, and Liberty County is at the other end. So it's almost 2 hours to get down, depending on traffic.
Did you get in your car and have to come down to Liberty County?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you recall approximately when you got to Liberty County?
I can. It would have been about 9:15 that evening.
Do you know who, at the time, it was that contacted you with regards to that location?
The case agent in this case is Special Agent Tracy Sand with our office.
Okay, and is he the one that contacted you?
I believe one of the supervisors actually called me to notify me to respond, but he was a point of contact for the case.
Okay. And can you tell the jury what the lead agent on a case, what that actually means?
Sure. So again, with the kind of cases that we work, sometimes with the complexity and the scope thereof is more than one agent will necessarily be able to handle effectively by themselves. So we'll have a case agent who kind of serves like a quarterback for a team. He or she will direct the course of that investigation and assign resources as needed and collaborate with the supervisor.
Now she's got to define what a quarterback is for the jury. Thanks.
Supervisors to make sure the investigation can be handled properly. And ultimately, they're also going to be responsible for tying everything together and presenting a court case.
So would he be somebody that would direct you as to things potentially that he wanted with respect to a case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And where did you go to assist in that investigation specifically?
I met him at the intersection of Jones Road and an unnamed hunting club road that was on the Portal Hunting Club near Riceboro in Liberty County.
Mr. Dickerson, did you bring anything with you here today to testify in your materials?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you bring?
The case reports that generated during the course of the investigation.
Okay. I'm just going to ask you, if you have difficulty recollecting something, just let us know.
Sure.
And if you could just push those off to the side for the time being.
Sure thing.
If you don't recall something, please just let us know and you'll be able to refresh your recollection. Just let me know you need to.
Sure thing.
Would it be fair to say that this incident happened some time ago?
It did.
Okay. Do you take reports for a reason?
Yes, ma'am.
What's that reason?
So we document things in order to make sure that the facts of the case are preserved and then presented later on in court in an accurate fashion.
Okay. So
People from Massachusetts, listen up. Listen
No,
up.
we don't. This
And
is like a foreign language to the Massachusetts too.
documentation. Documentation.
Are you speaking English right now?
Yeah, let's
What
go over that
language?
again. Let's go over that again.
Mr. Dickerson, did you bring anything with you here today to testify in your materials?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you bring?
The case reports that generated during the course of the investigation.
Okay. I'm just going to ask you, if you have difficulty recollecting something, just let us know.
Sure.
And if you could just push those off to the side for the time being.
Sure thing.
If you don't recall something, please just let us know and you'll be able to refresh your recollection. Just let me know you need to.
Sure thing.
Would it be fair to say that this incident happened some time ago?
It did.
Okay. Do you take reports for a reason?
Yes, ma'am.
What's that reason?
So we document things in order to make sure the facts of the case are preserved.
Reports for a reason?
Yes, ma'am.
What's that reason?
So we document things in order to make sure that the facts of the case are preserved and then presented later on in court in an accurate fashion.
Okay. So when you are doing a crime scene, are you doing it in time, simultaneous to what you're doing at the scene, those documents?
Oh, no, ma'am. We produce notes, and we use those notes to generate our reports later on.
Okay, so you're taking notes when it's happening and then you put those into a report later?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is that to assist and help with your recollection?
Yes, ma'am. It's taught to us that the dullest pencil is better than the sharpest memory. So.
Fair enough.
Oh, what did he
Now,
say?
You
Oh
indicated
my
that you
God.
went down to Riceboro and you met
Just dropped
Agent
a
Sands.
bomb.
Notes to generate our reports later on.
Okay, so you're taking notes when it's happening and then you put those into a report later?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is that to assist and help with your recollection?
Yes, ma'am. It's taught to us that the dullest pencil is better than the sharpest memory. So.
Fair enough. Now, you indicated that you went down to Riceboro and you met Agent Sands. Is that right? And you said what time was that approximately?
About 9:15.
Okay. And when you got there, can you describe the scene for the jury of what you saw when you got there?
Sure. There really wasn't much to see. This is an intersection of County Maintained Road and Jones Road, and then an unnamed hunting club road. The hunting club road was equipped with a metal swing gate that was
Just a tourist,
open
though.
at the time, and the hunting club road was very well maintained. It was had some deep ditches on either side of it, and it was fairly dry, even though it had a lot of rain in the area. Just prior to that, the area was very wooded.
Like you're just looking for.
So when you got there, did you see any people other than the train itself?
I did. There were some Dickies, don't know their names, but they were experiencing outside and controlling traffic on Jones Road, and they had put up some crime scene barrier tape that denoted outside the crime scene there at the intersection, and were keeping people off of the hunting club road itself.
Okay. And were there any civilians on scene, if you recall, by the time you got there?
While I was there, not until later.
Okay. So when you first arrive on the scene and you see all this, you have occasion to speak with Agent Sands.
I did.
Okay. And what do you normally do when you arrive at a homicide scene generally?
So in order to understand the scope of the scene and what's going to be needed to properly examine the crime scene, we have to.
But do we need to just take this stream and send it right to Canton Police Department?
Yeah, I think we do.
Damn timestamp. Say, look, when it starts getting real slow where you can understand it, start watching.
So a little bit about what happened. And what we normally do is called an initial briefing. We'll meet with a case agent or perhaps a requesting agency representative thereof and talk with them about what the case needs, what's going on, what the circumstances are, so we can make some determinations early on about what we need.
Okay, did you have that kind of a briefing?
We did.
And can you tell the jury what, if any, physical things you did in terms of measurements and photographs to initially assess the scene?
Okay.
So, one of the very first things we do at any crime scene is to go ahead and take photographs. Those photographs serve as documentation of the scene as we found it. And that's before we start manipulating anything in the scene. We'll go ahead and take those pictures. So again, we find things as we determine. Now, we can't always say that we're going to go into a scene and things haven't been touched or moved because we don't generally respond to scenes first. But we will document them as we find them, as we respond.
Okay. And so would it be fair to say that's kind of like an overview of the scene?
Correct.
Okay. Do you subsequently take far more detailed photographs?
Yes, ma'am. We generally start at overall photographs, which would depict the scene, the overall scene where the incident took place, and then we'll move in and photograph other things, be it the victim or individual items of evidence.
Did you do both of those in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you give us a rough idea of approximately how many pictures you took?
I believe on the initial scene it was 111, it was right around there.
Okay. And did you subsequently take additional photographs?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay. In total, do you have any idea how many photographs you took in connection with this case?
It was not exactly, but it was more than 700.
Okay. So more than 700 total pictures?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And clearly, Have I asked you to bring all 700 pictures to show you?
No, ma'am.
Okay. But are those available?
Yes, ma'am.
And they were made available?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, specifically, do you know how long after the body was first located that you responded, if you know?
I don't know right offhand. I understand that the body was discovered late that evening, and then we received a call after the Liberty County Sheriff's Office investigators had had a chance to respond and do their initial evaluation and decide to request us for assistance.
Do you know who the agent in charge of the Liberty County Sheriff's Office side of the investigation was?
The investigator, to my knowledge, it was coordinating from their side. They had a lieutenant there, Tracy Jennings, but investigator Jack Frost was the one that was assigned to the case, from my understanding.
So he was there, lead case.
Jack Frost, you son
There
of
he
a
is.
bitch.
Again, name dropping.
There he is, right in the middle of right in the fucking thick of it.
Always.
Right in the fucking Jack.
You know,
I gotta get Jack.
To my knowledge, it was coordinated from their side. They had a lieutenant. There's Tracy Jennings,
Say it.
Investigator Jack Frost.
Knew it, you fucker.
was blowing up his whole spot.
Bitch. I knew there was a reason we needed to watch this.
It's meant to be.
Yeah. All right, this is gonna be a good one though, because it's going past. It's pretty comical.
Maybe if Proctor says he'll go train with these guys, they'll give him his job now.
Oh, I'm pretty sure Proctor would for these guys. But I'm glad we got on here and hung out. Been 5 days. That's the longest I think that I went without streaming.
It felt like
Other than crash. Yeah, it felt like forever.
like years.
Like 6 days.
Crazy.
4 days.
Like a long-term relationship.
4 whole days. But I swear it felt like 6. Long time. Yeah, so we got to hang out, chill, get something new going, something for the rewatch crew to watch.
Yeah, they better be doing their homework and watching up.
Yeah, they're gonna have to watch. Oh, Press Lover came back or woke her up talking. Dang it, MJ.
You started it, Dan.
Dang it.
I was trying to take notes on how to do a proper crime scene investigation, but it got real confusing, you know?
Yeah, it is confusing when you have to take pictures and notes.
Over
Pick it back later and write a report.
That's a lot.
Oh,
That's like,
who do they think you are, Sherlock fucking Holmes?
right.
Damn, everybody's not Sherlock Holmes. That's what they think. Like, just because I'm an investigator doesn't mean I'm Sherlock Holmes.
Right. And just because I'm an investigator doesn't even mean I know how to read and write.
Yeah. This guy seems kind of above this trial level because this guy's guilty. He's very guilty. So I don't know what's fighting it.
They're just showing off.
He's wasting that Georgia money.
Well,
Georgia, they'll get your ass down there. Yeah,
do
watch
they
out.
have do they have what is it? The death
Death
sentence on it?
Have what?
The death sentence.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. Georgia's a little bit progressive for the South.
Mm.
Sometimes they are, sometimes they ain't. Oh,
You know who would know the answer to that?
Laureline.
Yeah.
She'll be here. That's from Bloodsport.
I haven't seen that one.
You haven't seen Blood? Man. God.
Should I have lied to you and said, yeah, great movie?
Bloodsport is a very good movie. Some of that 80s stuff.
You're on the
John
list.
Van Damme playing Frank Dukes, fighting in the Kumite.
Maybe I have seen.
Probably so.
My brothers used to make me watch like everything. So
Yeah. But we will go live tomorrow. Need to figure out what time Glare's going on, and Wink says they do DP in Georgia. I don't know if Laura would have said that. If she did, it's a DP state, then I wasn't thinking death penalty if Laura would have said that.
yeah, my brain would have gone somewhere else. So.
Right in line with the rest of the shit she's been saying tonight, making everybody laugh and shit. Yeah, funny. That's why we like Laura. We can just sit here awkwardly for 10 hours and finish our 12-hour stream.
Yeah, we could.
I can do it. I don't think you can do it.
I could sleep for a couple hours. Let
I'm Gen,
everyone.
I'm Gen X. I can sit by the door and wait for somebody for 12 hours like nothing. It's like nothing. I was just daydreaming. Go to make believe land. Wake me up when we get there. Nothing to it. When I was little, they just said go play. Y'all go
Yep. You're either in or you're out. Pick one.
play. Hell yeah, that's how they keep the house clean when I was little. Because you wasn't in the house. Oh, it's 100 degrees. Here's some water out the sink.
Yeah,
But
10
water,
metal fans blowing.
nothing like good water hose water.
The good old water hose. I actually rinsed off with the hose yesterday. I was gardening and I was like, oh, I'm dirty. Gotta clean my leg.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the Rat House, baby. Where the truth ain't quiet, and neither are you. Oh, yeah. Where the Chat Rats crew slide in, pull up a seat, crime talk, cold facts, and a jazzy backbeat. We got stories to tell, got some justice to serve. So pour up that coffee or something with a swerve. There's Rat Daddy leading 6'5", a cool Toys the queen with the sharpest of tools. Dean's cracking jokes, Mary B's got the tea, and Lawleen lays the law down, real boss energy. MJ's got the fire, Gingy's taking names, Angel Baby's in the game. The clerk's keeping order, Misty's watching close. Pinky promises, keeps receipts, and she does the most. We're the Chat Rats, baby, worldwide and bold. Stories unfold while the crime scene gets cold. Puff, puff, pass, and the truth gets exposed. At the Rat House, baby, that's how it goes. Snap, snap. Cherry lights it up. Cherry lights it up, neon glow behind her head. Tombstones drops the facts that awake the dead. Connor's taking notes, Janine's on the clock. Hetty the paralegal keeps the court on lock. Sweet woman, sweet, but she'll sting if you like. Calypso keeps it cool, got that island vibe. Prince Lover's in purple, that Texas pride glowing. Sherry's laughing loud while the facts keep flowing. Bum, 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 bum. Da-da-bum, da-da-bum, ghetto. OG coming through, crazy-eyed cheese, oh you better believe. Robo-Rat clicks, sparks, gears in his head, breaking the code till the lies drop dead. Jump, jump. We're the Chat Rats, baby, worldwide and bold. Stories that's how it goes. Crime solving cracks. Worlds are stage. That's a fact. Together we're the chat rats crew. We ain't looking back.